Are we live? We should be going live right now. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching ABL Live. You could be anywhere in the whole wide world, but I'm glad you're here with me tonight on the show. Boy, oh boy, really big news breaking tonight. Really big news breaking tonight. But not that big once you look at it. Nancy Pelosi has finally bit the bullet, caved in to the pressure from the Democratic Party on the far left, the AOCs and Rashida Tlaib's squad. I think it's safe to say that the squad now runs the Democratic Party. I don't think anybody would say anything different at this particular point in time. She has caved in and said that they're going to go ahead and do the impeachment inquiry. Twitter was a mess. Twitter was he's fired. He got him out of office. He's impeached. All they're going to do is yet another investigation. This time, they're going to call it an impeachment investigation the same way it was before, just without the name. The Mueller report, what was that? An impeachment investigation. You spent $40 million, 3 years, 500 subpoenas, all to yield a big fat nothing burger. Yes, nothing burger has been used a lot all over the internets because that is an accurate description of what happened when the transcript was released. It's an accurate description of what happened when the Mueller report was released. It's an accurate description of what will happen when all this is said and done. And I can't wait until 2020. I can't wait until 2020 when we win, when whoever is in there on the Democratic side gets defeated. I can't wait. We'll talk about all of today's topics and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining. I definitely appreciate you. Nothing burger. That is the word for today. That transcript was nothing. Let me tell you. They're reaching really hard to say that there was some quid pro quo or some impropriety or something illegal going on. You know, I've seen some reaches, because I've been watching politics for a while, for quite a few years. I've seen some reaches, some really just, straw grasping. But this right here just tops it. You're going to take this phone call and say, all right, impeach. That's what you're going to do. It's clear that the Democrats wanted to do this from the very beginning. They were saying before he was even in office, that they wanted to impeach him. You're talking like 2015, 2016, okay? You're talking about that back then. So this is just what they wanted to do from the beginning. And now it just decided, okay, we're going to do it right now. Nancy Pelosi actually had some cogent thoughts. Like, she had the right train of mind years ago during the whole Bill Clinton situation. She said it was wrong back then, and she was correct because he didn't get actually removed from office. She was right back then. And she said it would be wrong this time because, it would make the Democrats appear like they can't govern, like they can't have anybody that, what they are not able to have anybody that'll be able to go out there and win an election in 2020 fair and square without the Democratic Party and the mainstream media interfering in an improper way. It wouldn't actually go anywhere because in order to have the impeachment process be successful with a removal of the president, you got to have 2/3 Senate. And you don't have enough there in the so-called transcripts to get that. Okay, the Mueller report took years and a bunch of money, and you didn't get anywhere close to that. So how are you going to get anywhere closer with this weak? I mean, the phone call was so weak. You got Adam Schiff on TV talking about, he knew what the president of Ukraine understood and the Ukraine president understood. It's like, wait a minute, you just are making a lot of assumptions. You're guessing. You can't read that man's mind. You can't read anybody's mind. How are you going to get on TV and say that Trump said a thing that somebody just magically understood what was going on? Trump did not say, hey, if you don't investigate Hunter and Joe, I won't give you the money. He did not say that. The money was actually approved earlier this month. And I didn't hear about any kind of investigation happening at that particular point in time. So why would you give up the money before the investigation starts? Even if he did give the money after investigation started, there was no quid pro quo in the call. First. Second, Why would you not investigate Hunter and Joe Biden? It was a clear case of corruption at the least. At worst, you have bribery, extortion, all of that. Let's go back to 2014 when Joe Biden was the vice president of the USA. You know, if you hear Joe Biden, he'll say, yeah, I'm the vice president right now, but different story. I digress. In 2014, he was the vice president under one Barack Obama. This was during the Crimea time when Russia annexed Crimea. Joe Biden was made a special envoy of sorts to Ukraine from the U.S. So he has access to Ukraine. He goes there all the time. He talks to the higher ups. A lot of different things are going on. Now, his son, Hunter, just magically, right around the same time, gets a really comfortable job with this company called Burisma Holdings. They're the largest energy company in Ukraine. Now, Burisma Holdings is paying this guy between $50,000 and $80,000 per month to just sit on the board. To do what? I don't know. Hunter Biden has a history of drug abuse, of alcohol abuse. Some may call him a crackhead. Some may call him a drunk. He has a history of that. I think he had a problem with the military because of that. I believe he got locked up. And then he also was sleeping with his dead brother's wife. But I'm kind of going down the weeds. Anyway, Hunter is not a good person. He has personal issues, some demons he's battling. Everybody knows about it. It's in the public. It's not a secret. It's not a rumor. It's not some kind of quote unquote conspiracy theory. With all of that baggage going on, this company decides to pay him, who has no experience in energy at all, that kind of money, 50 grand a year, not a year, 50 grand a month, US dollars, to sit on the board of a big time energy company in Ukraine. Why? Now, there was an investigator in Ukraine that was investigating the company that Hunter Biden was getting this money from. Obviously, there's some corruption going on, or there might be. When you see something like that, like imagine if you are an investigator in Ukraine, you're one of the top people, and you're looking at corruption in companies, and you see this big energy company that has a history of corruption, that has Hunter Biden, drunk crackhead, on the board getting paid 50 grand a month when he has no experience in energy. That might be a little suspicious. Let me investigate that. Joe Biden flies to Kiev, talks to the higher ups and says, hey, I need you to fire that prosecutor. If you don't, we're going to cancel that $1 billion plus guaranteed loan that the U.S. is going to give you. Now, they kick back and say, hey, you can't do that. You're the vice president. You're not the president. And then Joe says, hey, call the president and see what happens. Within 6 hours, that prosecutor was fired and the case, or the investigation into Burisma Holdings, was dropped. So, I mean, that's not quid pro quo. That's not extortion. That's not bribery. What's really going on? Why was Hunter Biden getting paid that kind of money to sit on the board? Aside from what Joe Biden did with the prosecutor, why was he on the board getting that money with no experience? You know, I mean, obviously, he may be given some influence that's improper because his dad is a vice president who has power, enough power to just fly to a country and say, hey, fire that guy, do it right now, and it's done. Okay? Can I just go to anybody? Can I even go to Popeyes and say, hey, fire the general manager or fire the fry cook? No, I can't. But creepy, sleepy, creep Veep Joe goes to Ukraine and says, hey, fire the prosecutor right now. That's investigating the company my son works for, quote unquote works for, and it's done. Come on. The media are totally ignoring that. They want to call it a conspiracy theory, even though he got on TV. He was on television looking into the camera and said it. You can go on C-SPAN right now and look at it. They're totally ignoring that. And this guy could become the president by some stroke of luck. He's running for president right now. He's a front runner. He could become the president. They're totally ignoring that. But Trump says, hey, look into that and see if there's any kind of, impropriety, which is the correct thing to do. Because number one, Trump wants to make sure that whoever he's giving this money to are going to be on the up and up. But number two, the current president is anti-corruption. So wouldn't that be something that he's interested in, to weed corruption out? I mean, I'm just saying, the media and the left are nuts. So what's going to be the result? They may try to file articles of impeachment, but it's an exercise in futility. They're not going to get anywhere. In order to have impeachment go through with a removal of the president, you got to have 2/3 majority Senate. That means you got to have 20 Republicans defect in a partisan way and vote against Trump. Over what, though? I mean, how can you get anybody that would convict him? Like, what are you convicting them of? Because you think that the president might have known what Trump meant and you think that Trump meant a certain thing. Where's the evidence? It's loose. It's stretching. It's not anything there. Even on CNN, they said there's no quid pro quo in the actual transcript of the phone call. And then you had people on Twitter, a lot of the Twitter sphere, some of the blue check mafia on the left, they said that the transcript is not a transcript. What do you mean? What do you mean? What transcript would you like? Would you like to have a videotape of Trump saying it and then have some court appointed, approved by the left scribe that'll just write it all down? I mean, how do you know it's not a trend? Like, what was in the transcript is what it is. It is what it is. Why would Trump say, "Oh, I'm going to release this transcript," and then put out something that's false? Why? For what? But hey, I can't wait. I cannot wait until they go down this road. And you know, one thing about it is that the Democrats just gained the House, right? This year. They gained the House. They did not gain the Senate, but they gained the House. So the House, they get, it's a every 2-year cycle when they're up for a re-election. So I don't really see how they're going to maintain their majority in the House when they're doing something like this. It's not going to end well. They're so desperate that they know they can't win. They don't have anybody that can defeat Trump in a general election. So what do they got to do? Impeach. See a little button meme, just impeach. Just do that. Maybe that would get Trump out of there. As far as a re-election bid, people will be kind of discouraged away from voting for him. It's a strategy. And really what that says to me is that they don't have any confidence in Joe. They're trying to protect him, but they know that he's not really going to be able to get her done. He might have one foot in the grave and might croak during the actual campaign process. Not trying to be morbid, but it is what it is. I'm thinking like how they're probably thinking. They want this as a quote unquote insurance policy, and they have it. I just want to see the end result of all of this. That's all I want. I want to see the end result. Okay. Are we going to have any kind of investigation? What I want to see is Hunter Biden go before Congress and testify about his dealings with the Ukraine and this, little quote unquote job he had to sit on the board of a Ukrainian energy company. I want to see him testify as it relates to that. I want to see Joe Biden get on the stand and testify. Will I see it? I doubt it, because the left, they protect their own. The media, they protect their own. And you have some in the government that are really deep in there, the deep state swamp. They're going to protect their own as well. And you might uncover some more things about some more people if you really look down into what's happening in not only Ukraine, but other places in the world where things like this have been done. Little shady deals. It's kind of like... It's like a supersized version of NCAA athletes, getting put in fake classes just to get a high GPA, that kind of thing. That right there is peanuts. That's nothing compared to this. You're talking about like a grain of rice versus Mount Kilauea in Hawaii. Basically, that's the level of difference. But it is very similar. You're doing certain things that are just totally incorrect and wrong, and acting like it ain't nothing really going on. Everybody just looks past it. But you want to point the finger at somebody else and say, oh, they did it. They did something. With Trump, I don't really see any evidence of it. None whatsoever. But hey, I can't wait. Oh, yeah, hey, the deep state is so real. Jeffrey Epstein in jail. How are you in this federal institution in New York City and get killed? Talking about, oh, the guards will sleep for 3 hours. So you mean to tell me that the guards just, what they sleep together? So they took a nap for 3 hours. Nobody was watching it. The cameras outside miraculously stopped working for a little while. And that little while was when he got killed or, died. And you mean to tell me this man, 6 foot tall, jumped off of the top bunk with a sheet that's like paper thin strapped to his neck and killed himself that way? 0 cents. Obviously, there was some foul play, but hey, that's a deep state for you. They do things like that and get away with it. That's why the media are not talking about Hunter and Joe. They thought they got away with it. They thought it was a good, a steal, a good lick, as the cool kids say, and they got away with it. So they don't want to touch with a 10-foot pole because some of the media may be in that same situation. They don't want to address that at all. DC is a crazy place. Have you ever seen Devil's Advocate, the movie? That's DC for real, once you really get down to the core of it. And we talking about draining the swamp, it might be a little bit deeper than that, but I digress. If you've not seen Devil's Advocate, check it out, because that right there, it tells you a little bit about DC culture and these kind of individuals that are very evil. Oh, and then Hunter Biden, talking about him right quick. Hunter Biden, how can anybody tell me that, like, just aside from the politics, aside from anything, aside from picking a side, how can anybody tell me that this guy, who is a person that has problems with drugs, a crackhead, a drunk, somebody that's been locked up for drugs before, how you going to tell me that this guy who has no experience in oil or gas can have a job to sit on the board, 50 grand a month, in a natural gas company, the biggest natural gas company in Ukraine? Not only a natural gas company, but a foreign natural gas company. So they're going to take you, Hunter, all the way from the US of A and make you a board member in a company in Ukraine, in a field you have no experience with, when you have a crazy background. If I'm going to pay you that much money, if I pay you $2 grand a month, I'm going to want to see your background. I'm going to know if you're on drugs or whatever. I had to get a urine test when I was trying to get a job making $7 an hour. So you're getting paid 50 grand and you are the vice president's son and they don't know you have a drug problem? They don't know about your incarceration and your drinking problem? They don't know about that, really? And if they did know about that, would they hire you? They don't know you don't have any experience? Did you lie? What's really going on? I want a person to tell me why he was able to get that job and it was all right. Like it was no real big deal. That's what I want to know. And he was getting between 50 and 80. I've seen the lowest amount be 50 grand a month. I've seen the highest be 83,000 per month. You got guys that would kill to make that per year. He was getting that per month with no experience, none whatsoever. Yes, making a year's pay in a month. That is 100% correct, Mark O. Yes. He's an electrician. So, okay, he's an electrician. Oil or gas, electrician, I'm not really sure how they connect. And I'm sure that that the people over in Ukraine know about that. 100% correct. Oh, Zia Marie, that's correct. And she says the 50 grand per month went through 3 countries before it came to the U.S. Nothing to see here, folks. Exactly. There was payments that went from, I think, what was that? Latvia to Cyprus to U.S., like really crazy stuff. I was like, why go all the way around the Mediterranean, like from basically Russia through the Mediterranean, then to the U.S.? Why? For what? What's really going on? Yes, Alexander. Biden said that he would stop the money to Ukraine if they did not fire the prosecutor that was investigating his son's company. He said it on TV. It's on C-SPAN right now. You can go search on C-SPAN and it'll be right there, full color, recent sound, everything's perfect. He might have been in front of the CFR at this particular time. So as a counsel on foreign relations, I mean, Joe Biden is a mess. But hey, like I said before, run Joe Biden. Let him run so then we can just tear him apart. Just let him run. Now, we'll talk about that some more. I know you guys want to talk about that. But I'm going to shift gears a little bit into Miss Greta Thunberg. Now, Greta Thunberg, this situation here is pretty sad because what's happening is her parents are using her to get attention, to make money. I heard somewhere, don't quote me on it, but she made like 46 million within a year's time from last year to this year. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm just saying. It could be. Climate change is big business. Al Gore is worth like 300 million. Have you seen Al Gore's estate? I'm gonna try to pull it up right quick. Al Gore talks about, carbon emission being the devil, basically, all this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, his compound is like something out of a movie. I mean, like, he is a very rich person. Let me see. Hold on. Now, he has a matter of fact, his compound's in Nashville, actually. I might be able to go by there. I'll be in Nashville soon. So let me see if I can zoom in right quick. So how many parking lots, how many driveways does one person need? Hold on. I said it right at first, parking lots. So you got 3, looks like, spots right here. Right here you have 2, looks like, full-size vehicles, like SUVs, and that's a spot right there. Another one is right here. Look at all of this. Big pool. I mean, and this is sprawling. You got a lot of acreage here. This looks like an apartment complex. This is his house. I'm sure the carbon emission on this is through the roof. Through the roof. I don't see any solar panels. Matter of fact, I do. I'm sorry. I see them right here. Now, is that going to be enough to power the whole house? I doubt it. How much did those cost? And how much energy was used to create them? All right. I just want to know. I just want to know for myself. And I'm sure these big vehicles right here aren't 100% electric, and electricity that's generated by fossil fuel as well. What are they running on? Are they gas guzzlers? I don't really know. The water that's taken up, the maintenance, all of that, it's crazy. But you can live like that when you are a climate change superstar. Al Gore is pretty much giving up politics in the traditional sense. That's Al Gore's house. That is Al Gore. Oh, Greta will be living in a place like that very soon, 100%, because she will be the new Al Gore. Al Gore is getting kind of old, long in the tooth, so they want to replace him. Did you see that? What was that? That lawsuit where 15 kids sued 5 random countries. When I say random, I mean random, because they have not done enough to combat climate change. Those 5 countries are Brazil, Argentina, Turkey, France, and Germany. No India, no China, just some of these random countries. India and China have combined over 2 billion people, like I think 2.1 or 2.2 billion with a B people. That's like a third of humanity. They produce the majority of the world's pollution. 80 to 90% of the ocean's pollution, like the plastics and stuff in the ocean, come from 10 rivers in the world. 8 of them are in India and China, and 2 more in Africa. But 8 of them are in India and China. Do you understand how many people? 2 billion people. That's a crazy amount of people. That's where you have a lot of pollution at. But why not talk about them? It's really weird. I think you have a lot of people that are pulling the strings, a lot of big time politicos that, and it's hard to say deep state. That's not really what's going on. It's deeper than deep state when you're talking about global stuff. You got a whole big game going on that they're a part of. And it's a shame that they're using this girl for that particular purpose. Politics Peace. Hopefully I didn't butcher that name. Says Omar's daughter is just as bad as Greta's, if not worse. Hey, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all. And Greta's parents, they're the ones behind this. I did a video about this. It's on my channel. Check it out when you get a chance. But in the video, I was talking about how there's a book out there about Greta Thunberg, a 16-year-old climate change activist. It's a book out there about her life. The book was written before she became very popular. It was written by our mom, of course. Now, the book is about Greta's life, as far as I know. And if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. But on the front cover is her mom. Why? Why are you in the front cover on a book about your daughter? Now, there's a German translation that came out recently ever since Greta has become popular, and magically, Greta's on the cover like she should have been from the beginning. Why was the mom on the cover of the first one? I think it's because the mom wants attention. She says that Greta has like 4 disorders, at least. Autism, selective mutism, OCD, and depression. It seems like a little bit too much. Autism, I understand. Selective mutism, I think some of these things aren't necessarily disorders by themselves. I think there's too many disorders here. It could be Munchausen by proxy, saying that, oh, my daughter is sick. My daughter is this. My daughter is that, because I want attention. That's why, in my humble opinion, she was on the front cover of a book about her daughter. Why else would you be like, if you write my biography, it's about me. I don't care how old I am. I could be an infant. I could be in gestation. Why would you put yourself on the cover? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, she has Asperger's. That's correct. Yeah, Asperger's. But then other things like random selective mutism. And they're saying that selective mutism is when you just don't want to talk in front of certain people. Like that's a disorder. That's like a mental illness now. I think that she's being overdiagnosed because of her mother being very intrusive. Her mom was an opera singer and she was a celebrity. Maybe she's not a celebrity anymore and still craves that attention. I'm just throwing things out there. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys be the judge. You guys be the judge. Jakari Jackson. That name sounds familiar. Jakari Jackson. Was he on InfoWars? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, he was on he's dead? Nah. Wow. I gotta look into that. Exactly, golf and guns. We called that shy back in the day. We called it shy. It was not a mental disorder or anything like that. It was a mental disorder. I mean, it was just being shy. It was not a mental disorder. So the parents are using the kid just for their own personal gain. It's very simple. And it's a shame. And I wonder what she's going to do. And one thing that the media are talking about, they want to say, oh, she's so young. She's 16. She may appear to be like a little girl, like 8, 9 years old. But I mean, look, when I was 16, I was driving and working. I'm not saying she's not, a teenager, a child in the eyes of the law or anything like that, or a young person, which she is, but she's not like a little baby. You understand? I was 16 years old working and driving. I knew what was right and what was wrong. But I think what's going on here is that she has been conditioned by her parents to be a certain way. And now you're seeing this person coming to her maturity as an adult by the path her parents set for her. And it's really unfortunate. If you had parents like that here in the States, I think that you would get a welfare check to see what's really going on, to see if the parents are abusing her, because I see child abuse. I don't see, empowerment or anything like that. The parents wearing Antifa shirts, she has one too. So what if parents had on the Klan shirts and then the kids had one on too? What would that be? Would that be cause for concern? Would that be a red flag to the authorities to say, hey, come get this child? Yes, it would, and rightfully so. It should be the same thing with Antifa and that kind of stuff. Any kind of extremist organization like that goes out there and commits violence, that should be investigated. If the parents are with it, they're teaching that to their children, they should be looked into to see if everything's on the up and up. Very simple. So it's a whole lot going on. But do you guys think that the whole impeachment thing will actually go through? I don't think so. I think that it's pretty much, I think it's pretty much dead in the water right now. It's really pretty much over. It ain't really going to be, there'll be nothing else to see here. And how long will it actually go on? Will this go on until the actual election, past the election? How will this affect the election? Do you guys think that whoever runs against Trump has no chance? Nancy Pelosi pretty much just signed a death kiss to whoever tries running against Trump. The Democrats will be focused on trying to impeach the president. Meanwhile, the person trying to run, will they be getting attention? How are you going to have your attention focused on the campaign and impeachment at the same time? At a certain point, something's got to give. Either you're going to be focusing more on the impeachment or focusing more on the candidate. If you can focus more on the candidate, what was the point of announcing the impeachment? Now you're going to have to just abandon that you just announced. So they're going to focus on the impeachment and neglect the candidate, which is going to hurt them even more than what they would be already by being weak up against a strong incumbent. It's so simple. Yeah, so the Russia thing, that was nothing, Burger. I thought that might have been stronger. That might have been stronger because you got the whole nation scared. The orange scares back. No orange scare. The orange scare is here because of Trump, orange man bad. But also the red scares back. That might have been a better angle, but it didn't work. So now what? Now we got to say, oh, well, the phone call with the president of Ukraine, that was wrong. That was bad. So we got to impeach him right now. It's silly. Yes, Zia Marie, thank you. Everybody, please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff for me. Helps me out tremendously. I appreciate it. And also, if you are a first-time viewer, please subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate that as well, 100%. It's just a call-in show. I'll get to the calls here very soon. Y'all just hang on tight. I will be getting to the calls very shortly. Oh, and I got to talk about my upcoming travel right quick. And I got you guys as a captive audience. I'll be going to Washington, D.C. from October the 3rd through the 5th. That'll be next week. This time next week, I'll pretty much be getting ready for that. I'll be there from Thursday, October the 3rd through Sunday, October the 6th. And that'll be for YBLS. Well, now it's called BLS. That's a Black Leadership Summit put on by Turning Point USA. We had the same event last year. And, I mean, it just was monumental. The mainstream media couldn't do anything with it. You got 400 black folks, MAGA hats, all supporting the president. What can the media do? They're going to call us racist. They're going to call us xenophobic, homophobic, transphobic, all the other obs and icks. They can't do it. White supremacists, they can't do it. So we're going to do that again. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be productive. We're going to have a great time, and that's going to be next week. Washington, D.C. from October the 3rd through the 5th, really. After that, I have an event in Miami, Florida. That's called the American Priority Conference and Festival. That'll be from October the 10th through the 12th. That'll be Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Miami, Florida at Trump Doral. It's going to be fantastic. Everybody's going to be there. Count Dankula, Charlie Kirk. I mean, I can't even name everybody that's going to be there. It's going to be crazy. Conservative event. Everybody's welcome to everything that I'm doing. Everybody's welcome. It's going to be great. That's going to be right after BLS. And then at the end of October, I have Politicon. That's going to be crazy. That's going to be the left and the right there. You're going to have some of the top guys on the right there. You also have some of the top people on the left. Some nut jobs like James Comey will be there. So that's going to be interesting to see that how the two sides are able to get along. I want to meet everybody. So I'll be there. I got a VIP pass. I will not be speaking at Politicon as far as I know. Maybe I'll get invited on stage. Maybe I won't. I may be speaking at BLS, and also I could possibly be speaking at AmpFest, which is in Miami, Florida, the American Priority Fest. But I've not been invited to speak at Politicon. But that could change. Since I'll be there, they may know who I am and bring me on stage. I can't really call that for now, but I will be at all those events. So a quick rundown: Washington, D.C., Miami, Florida, and then Nashville, Tennessee for Politicon. If you're in the surrounding area and you're able to go, come on out. I'd love to meet you. I was not live this past Saturday. I was out of town just hanging out back home in Virginia for a little while. But I'll be traveling and still doing my live stuff. You know, I'll be doing more live stuff when I'm traveling because I'll be covering some of the events, maybe doing little impromptu interviews, streaming some things that are going on. So I'll be doing more live content last time for sure. I mean, this coming up time, I'll be doing more. The same as I did last time. Chunk Yogurt's going to be there. Yeah, Chunk Yogurt will be at Politicon, if I'm not mistaken. Tommy Lauren's going to be there. Hold on, let me just pull up Politicon right quick so I can tell you everybody's going to be there. At Politicon, we have Al Franken, James Comey, Donna Brazile, Sean Hannity, Ann Coulter, Jordan Peterson, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and many more people. So that's going to be good. At AmpFest, hold on, let me pull this up right quick. At AmpFest, who do we have coming? We have a lot of people. Trump Jr., Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Matt Gaetz, Charlie Kirk, Dinesh D'Souza, Jason Chaffetz, Tom Fitton with Judicial Watch, James O'Keefe, Project Veritas. Let me see, Brandon Strzok, Walkaway, Angela King, Dana Lash. Let me see, Terrence Williams, Joy Villa, Wayne Dupree, Jack Posobiec, Joshua Firestein, myself, I'll be there. Alveda King, Carpe Dunctum, Mark Burns, Ryan Fournier. The list goes on. There's a lot of people. David Harris Jr. is going to be there. My man, R.C. Maxwell, Rogan O'Hanley, who's DC Drano on Instagram. Papadopoulos, George Papadopoulos is going to be there. Anna Paulina, Scott Pressler. Star-studded. And at BLS, you're going to have, I think, Larry Elder, maybe Ben Carson. We're going to do a lot. So a lot of stuff coming up. Yeah, Jordan Peterson may not be there. I heard about that, Mike A, because he's dealing with the whole rehab situation. Yeah, hopefully he gets well soon. Hopefully everything works out properly. Bite Music says, "Do I get called racist for supporting Trump?" Well, no, I don't get called racist. I get a lot of different kind of names thrown at me, but at this particular point in time, I don't even really care. I feel like when somebody says a name or something, derogatory towards me just because I support Trump, I'm dealing with a low IQ individual, and I'm not really trying to beat up on kids. I feel like that's unfair. So I don't even really care. When I see something like that, I already know what time it is. Let me see. Uber guy, you gonna be in DC? All right, man. I see you there for sure. Let me see. All righty, and Jordan Peterson was on the anti-anxiety medication, and he had to go to rehab to get off it. See, that's why I don't do medications, because they can be very, addictive. Basically, that's what happened. I think it was more about a physical addiction, not necessarily a mental addiction. Kind of like opiates, when you get sick and stuff like that, and you're physically dependent upon it. And thank you to the super chatters. Right quick before we get into the calls, thank you to Charles Kane, who says, "Do your best. You're representing all of us." Hey, I appreciate you for that. And your donation, I definitely appreciate that. I try to just do my best all the time. I just, I'm myself. I want to present the best version of myself that I can. So I do what I can. Thank you for that, though. Thank you to Donnie Henderson, who says, "Every time I try to thumbs down a video for MSNBC or CNN, I'll go back and it's changed to a thumbs up." Has it happened to anybody else? I've not seen that happen to me. But then again, I'm not really, on the videos interacting like that. So I may have just not seen it because I didn't really try it. But thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Eric Kennedy, who says ABL is the man. Hey, thank you for your donation. You're the man, boss. I appreciate you. Thank you to Nathan, who says, "I love your work, ABL. I appreciate your very kind words and your donation." And thank you to Terrence Walker for your donation. I most certainly appreciate you. Yeah, I think it was a what was that? The medication Jordan Peterson was on was chlorozepam, Klonopin. That was it. Klonopin. Yeah. So, JB, you gonna be in DC? All right, I see you in DC, JB. Hey, I appreciate that, Uncle Hotep. Hey, are you coming to DC? You got to come out, man. I know you ain't too far away, man. Come on out to DC and see what's going on. CJ Pearson, I think, will speak somewhere I'll be at. He might speak at he might be in Miami. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me see. Let me just because I know he was at BLS last year with us. He's not scheduled to speak, but he may. That's possible. At BLS, we have Candace Owens, Rob Smith, Deneen Borelli, Larry Elder, Brandon Tatum, Mark Burns, John Miller from, the White House Brief. Angela Stanton King, Mark Robinson, David Harris Jr., and Charlie Kirk. But that could change. That could be added to or subtracted from up until the point when we actually do the event. Let me see. Alrighty. Do I have everything? I think I got everything. Hey, I appreciate that, Wowza, who says, great show, ABL. Thanks for the honesty when we have zero from the media, Cincy here. Hey, like I say, I just do my best. I just call things the way I see it. And I think a lot of you guys appreciate that. I'm just an honest person. The media, they have an agenda to push, and they'll be dishonest all the time. And they'll be dishonest in a way to where they can say in the court of law, I was not dishonest. They'll present things in a misleading way to make you believe a thing that's not true. But see, I don't do that. I just give you my point of view, straight from my heart. I never really write anything down before I do a video. I just read up on what's happening, get familiar with it so I know what's going on, get my sources together so I have all the information, and then I say what's happening factually from sources, and then I give my opinion, just straight from the heart. Never anything written down, just my heart opinion. Oh, and China, I forgot about China. There was like a $1.5 billion money arrangement with China and Biden and Hunter. I've not done a lot of reading on that, but I know there's some situations. There's a whole thing with that too. So what's going on? The Ukraine thing was obvious that you had to talk about that because the media said, oh, Trump is trying to extort Ukraine and bribe Ukraine, is that and the third. Meanwhile, Joe Biden gets on television and admits to extorting and bribing Ukraine effectively for over $1 billion. So that's a clear one. That's a clear connection to make. But as far as China, that's a whole different ball of wax. 100%. Yeah, exactly. Fuse Breaker. He says if you play with words, you call it disingenuous. I don't play with words. I'm just straight. Just the way I say it. All right. Now, people talking about Giuliani being brought up. I think it was Zelensky who brought up Giuliani. He said he spoke to him, and that's how Giuliani got into the conversation. But it wasn't like Trump said, "Hey, talk to my man, and he'll get you straight." The president brought up Giuliani, said that he liked him, he talked to him, and that's how it was in the conversation. Thank you to my man Omar Adams, who says Corn Pop 2020. You know what's funny? I believe that Corn Pop story, but I'm just like, why would you even bring that up? What was the purpose of bringing Corn Pop up? For what? Like, what are you trying to prove? What are you trying to show? Why even talk about that? It's really weird. All right. So let's go and get to the call. So the number to call is 434-658-1220. And if you want to get in through Skype, you could be right here in the bottom left-hand corner. There's the email for that in the description box below. Thank you to Donnie for your donation, who says there's a lot of New York and California folks moving to Dallas because of business incentives. I wish conservatives would really focus energy on its Democratic strategy to gain Texas politically. Again, protect Texas. Hashtag protect Texas. Thank you for that. I definitely appreciate it. And the problem with people moving to Dallas from these places like New York, California, other liberal strongholds is that they vote the same way that they did when they were back home. They don't understand that they can have the same quote unquote incentives back in their state, city, town of origin if they would vote properly. They don't really get that. They don't really process that information very well. They should, but they don't for some particular reason. Ignorance, I don't really know. It can't be totally ignorance, but at the same time it is. The reason why I say it can't be is because they're voting and they're voting purposely for a particular person or a particular party. So they know what they're doing, but at the same time, they don't understand the consequences of what they're doing. They don't understand that voting Democrat ain't just about inclusion and LGBT, all this, that, and the third. You're talking about money. And if you vote for a particular party because of inclusion or whatever, but as a result, you don't have any money in your pocket, then what was your vote for? To virtue signal? Why? What is the real reason? Florida is a swing state. Florida can go blue. I think Florida has been blue before, but it can go red too. It's a swing state, just like kind of like Ohio, in my humble opinion. Shout out to John Miller. How dare you? That was crazy. The acting was off the chain. I know this girl got coached by her parents for a long time. Kids don't talk like that. Either you watching too much TV and they talk like that on TV, like on a program you watching, or your parents have been coaching you for years to talk like that. 16-year-olds don't talk like that. How dare you? And then my thing is, what are you even talking about? What is your actual gripe? I'm talking about Greta Thunberg, the 16-year-old climate change activist. What are you even talking about? How dare you? And you're leaving it to us, the young people. I shouldn't even be in here. I should be in school across the ocean. What are you talking about? Climate change? What did I do? What did any of us do to make you? And then she said that, oh, my dreams were crushed because of because of you. First of all, what dream? You're 16 years old. You've not even had a chance to live yet. What dreams have been crushed? Like, was it some kind of monsoon that hit Sweden randomly and just wiped away your home? Are you homeless now? And are you going to blame that storm on climate change? That didn't happen, obviously. I'm just making up stuff. But I'm just trying to figure out what dreams were crushed and how did they get crushed? And how are you just going to say my life is over at this particular point when you're 16 years old? I don't get it. Matthew Richardson, shout out to you for your donation. He says, sub to this channel or you've stolen my childhood. Shame on you. Hey, thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. 100%. Yeah, the scripted words were just wearing me straight on out. Wearing me out. Oh, is her dad an actor? That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So if your dad's an actor, your mom's an opera singer, another celebrity, yeah, you have stage parents, okay? You have a momager and stage parents overall. That's what's going on. You're like a young a child actor that got robbed by their parents. That's what you are, Greta Thunberg. And it's really a shame. It's not even all the way her fault. Like, it's her parents that have basically groomed her to be like this. This is child abuse 100% of the way. I shouldn't be here. I should be in school on the other side of the ocean. It's like, all right, man. Like, the parents need to come out and say, cut, stop the madness, really. Yeah, I'm mad at the parents. I'm not even really mad at her all the way. The parents are wearing me out. That's the problem. How would you write a book about your daughter and put yourself on the front cover? What kind of narcissist? I mean, that's just out of control. But that shows you where her parents are at. Climate change, all the climate change stuff is and then, I'm going to tell you one thing before I get to the cause. The thing about this whole climate change hysteria is that I see a thing happen, kind of a phenomenon that I see happen in other situations. The left is so ridiculous about climate change. They go so far to the left and they talk about it all the time. A regular everyday person that may not even agree with climate change at all wants to try to meet them halfway, but halfway to their particular point of view is still over the edge. All right. Let's say you have this right here is a plane, right? You can be on this side of the plane, on that side of the plane. And this is like the plane of reality, right? The left are all the way over there, not even in the frame at all. But this is the plane of reality. You try to meet them like right here. You're not in the plane of reality. You understand what I'm saying? People are saying, oh, well, there could be some climate change and maybe human beings do it. No. You're trying to rationalize irrational thoughts. That's what you're trying to do. You're rationalizing irrational thoughts. And that is what people like Greta Thunberg do. They set this false side. It's not really there. That's the reality of the situation. 100%. Her granddad, Olaf, was an actor-director. Hey, don't doubt it. So her grandfather's an actor. Her father is an actor. Her mother is an opera singer, a celebrity. It's pretty clear to see what's going on. Let me see. Hold on. This is a good comment right here. Anthony Butero III says, what I don't get is why does Bill Nye the Science Guy agree with AOC about climate change? The whole 12 years doomsday bullcrap. Well, Bill Nye, the Bachelor of Chemical Engineering guy, agrees with her because he is on the same team with her. And she has become the ringleader of that team. So you can't go against the boss. You can't go against the front runner. You can't go against the leader. You understand? Like, they pretty much all following behind AOC because she's the biggest star in that sphere, in my humble opinion. Bill Nye's been around for a long time, very well respected by a lot of people, or at least he was. But that's a different story. Same thing with Al Gore and everybody else. However, when AOC and the squad, they come out and say a thing, how are you really going to fight against that? They have the bully pulpit, so to speak. They have the entire Democratic Party in the palm of their hands. So how can Bill Nye really go against that? Who's going to, at this particular point in time, who has more relevance? Bill Nye, the Bachelor of Chemical Engineering guy, or AOC? It's AOC. It's very clear. All right. So I'm going to get to the calls. You guys have been great so far. If you're just now coming in, please like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the video channel. If you've not done so already, I definitely appreciate you. Bill Nye janitor guy, exactly. Yeah, but see, Bill Nye has no power. He has to do whatever the left is doing. And that's the same thing with Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, truthfully, did not want to impeach Donald Trump, or pardon me, open the impeachment inquiry. He did not want to do it, honestly, but he has no choice. What is he going to, like, she has no choice. What is she going to do? If she does not open the impeachment inquiry, then what that says is what it would say to the far left is that the speaker is not doing their job, not on point. You're trying to placate Trump, and you'll have the left kind of divide itself. So you're trying to keep the left united. You're trying to keep the House united. You're trying to help your candidate, Joe Biden, become successful in this primary time, and you're trying to help him win. How are you going to do that with a lot of division happening within the Democratic Party? It's going to be very difficult to do so. So it is what it is. All righty. Matt, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, ABL?
Everything's great, man. How about yourself?
Doing fantastic, man. Hey, I wanted to ask you, I noticed something over the last month or so that Drudge is absolutely horrible when it comes to giving us relevant news. I was watching the Ukraine scandal, and I sort of felt like Drudge was sort of hyping up all of the impeachment propaganda and pushing the most sensational articles to the top. And I had to go to Zero Hedge to actually get any reality check whatsoever as far as what was the latest information and what was some of the takes. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't really know. I mean, I've not been on Drudge in a while. I don't really follow the channel. I mean, follow his website. But what could be happening is just strictly money. I mean, quite frankly, because you're going to push sensational articles to get the most clicks and the most views to get money. That could be it. Aside from that, I don't know if it's any kind of nefarious reason, he's trying to, be a person that's trying to disrupt things in a negative way. I don't know if it's that. I think it's probably about money.
Because, man, if you were on it over the last couple of days, you would think that Trump was getting impeached yesterday, which I was really surprised to just kind of see Drudge of all places even like that. So it's sort of just adding up, you know what I mean? Whether it's YouTube or any independent, it almost looks like I'm running out of media outlets, and I'm not looking for confirmation bias or anything like that. I just, I thought the transcript, when it was released, it wasn't condemning whatsoever, but it seems no media outlet is available other than like independent channels like yours. I mean, there's nothing out there. It's a desert.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's really tough. I mean, I have a sponsor that I'm gonna plug right here. If you've not checked them out, patriotpost.us, they're pretty good. I've met them here in Chattanooga. Patriotpost.us. They've been around for a long time, like 20-something years. They're like an online magazine. A lot of conservative stuff on there. They're good people too. So
Zero Hedge is one, but I'm not a 9/11 truther, and I feel like I sort of judge people's objectivity like that, and I saw like a lot of 9/11 truth stuff in Zero Hedge, but Zero Hedge is very good.
Yeah, I read them sometimes. They're pretty good. But, my thing, I always try to read a lot of different sources because I feel like some sources, it could be kind of unreliable, and I might get kind of a biased point of view that I don't need in a particular point. So I try to read everywhere. But I like to have a lot of different places I can go. Breitbart, Patriot Post, Zero Hedge. Also a good place to go is New York Post. They're pretty good sometimes. And Washington Examiner is pretty good sometimes.
Yeah, Washington Examiner. I try to stay away from like the Breitbarts and National Review and stuff like that. But man, it's getting a lot more difficult. So I would just say leave you with if anybody could just put a comment into his feed right here where they get news from, because I'm running out of places that I feel are objective.
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
All righty, man. So is that pretty much everything?
Yeah, I think so. Don't ruin my childhood, okay? All right, man. Take it easy.
Thank you for the call, man.
Yeah, peace.
Peace. All right, thank you to my man Matt for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. If you guys have any websites that are good sources of information, good, news sources, reliable, put them in the chat. You cannot put a .com in there because it won't allow it. Google won't allow it. Just put the name of the actual website without the .com. Daily Wire, I read the Daily Wire. Epoch Times. Shout out to Epoch Times. I know my man Adrian Norman, he writes over there. So shout out to Adrian Norman, RTNN. Shout out to him. Epoch Times, they're good, yes. Shout out to Epoch Times. Shout out to Donnie, who says Bernie Sanders was endorsed by a Brim Blood Gang member, a.k.a. hip-hop entertainer Cardi B. No wonder she didn't want to take Candace Owens. That is correct. Cardi B is Blood Gang, according to Tekashi 6ix9ine, who went on stage, testified that Cardi B's in the gang. All right. Let me get to my next call, and the lines are blowing up, so I'm going to try to get everybody on as soon as I can. Mike from Queens, what's happening?
Hey, Anthony, what's going on?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
One of the OGs has returned.
Yes, indeed.
I know it's been a while. Where do you start? What a few days it's been up here with traffic with the UN, and Trump's been in town, but I don't mind. At least Trump was laying the smackdown at the UN.
Oh, definitely, 100%. It was great to see that, because a lot of people, they may go there and just kind of say, easygoing things, just real basic things that don't really have any substance. When you go up there and lay the smackdown like that, I can really appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And I wonder if all the stuff that's coming out with this Ukraine nonsense. I honestly think he put this person up to it, or this person's being paid to put this out there. Maybe he's the one who leaked the whistleblower.
Hey, it could be. I don't even know what's going on at this particular point in time. It's pretty weird times. So that could be possible.
Yeah, we don't know. It could be someone, a deep state operative. And the only way you're going to get these deep state people out of this is you got to rely on snitches.
That's right. 100%.
A bunch of Tekashi 6ix9ines.
Man, he told on everybody. It's like, wow. Every day it's like a new person that gets told on. And then the thing about him, right quick, is that I don't know why he's talking about all these people. That should have been before he went on the stand. He might have been able to get sent home right away. he's still going to go to jail. But you give him all this information. It's like you should have done that before you went on the stand to get less time or to go home. But hey, whatever.
And he's not going into no kind of witness protection. I don't understand, from what I understand. So
so he's going to be pretty much just a sitting duck.
Yeah, exactly. But this whole impeachment thing, it's just the replay of what we've seen the last 2.5 years. It's going to blow up in their faces. I don't know if the Republicans will be able to take over, retake the House in next year, but maybe hopefully it'll be able to at least widen the close the margin, so to say.
Yeah, I mean I think so for sure. I definitely think.
And the problem is we have too many stupid people in America. A lot of low information people where, they hear impeached, like we've discussed before, they hear impeached and they think the president is out of office. Doesn't mean removal from office.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a lot of that on social media, especially, and then people are kind of confused, like, "Oh, he's not gone yet. When is he going to be gone?" It's like, all right, let's actually put some facts out there. That's why in my video I just made sure I had all the facts, and just because some people just don't know, they may go to school and learn about these things and still get told the wrong thing. So a lot of times it's just a lack of information due to being educated improperly.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I sent you a response when you put that tweet out earlier today about the transcript was a big fat nothing burger.
Yeah.
And I put a response in it. Is that did you put the sauce the hot sauce that Hillary carries in her purse on it?
Hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. You said there was a nothing burger, so I said, didn't you put some ketchup or sauce? And then, wait a minute, hot sauce.
Hey, that'd go great with it. Put it right on there.
Oh boy. So, all right. Listen. On that note, let me get going, and I'll talk to you soon. Good to hear from you.
All right. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you as always.
You got it. Have a good night.
All right, now. All right. Thank you to my man Mike from Queens for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Have you guys seen Jerry Nadler when he was younger? Like, Jerry Nadler now is not the same Jerry Nadler from back in the day. Let me show you I'm gonna just show you this. It's 1998 when he's talking about Slick Willie and the whole impeachment kerfuffle back then. Now, I did not know Peter Griffin was in politics.
Because he knew quite properly that an impeachment of a president is an undoing of a national election. And one of the reasons we all feel so angry about what they are doing is that they are ripping from us, they are ripping asunder our votes. They are telling us that our votes don't count. And that the election must be set aside. Because he knew.
There it is. So Peter Griffin was laying down some knowledge back then, and it's kind of weird that he will not say the same thing now. It's pretty interesting. But I digress. Let's get back to the calls. Okay, I see my chat froze up. Let me just fix that right quick. And thank you all for joining. I definitely appreciate you. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. All right, let's go ahead and get that done. There we go. Boom. It says Newman from Seinfeld. That's also Newman from Seinfeld. All right, let me get to my call. Next call here. All right, call you on the line. 617. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, this is Ivan. Dude,
all right.
Why you keep capitalizing other people's ignorance, man?
Okay, so what did I do this time?
Well, what you didn't do. Why you keep saying that it was zipped from the Mueller investigation? They say it was no obstruction and there was no collusion. There was obstruction, but there wasn't enough evidence of collusion. That's the true fact.
Okay, so what was the obstruction?
Well, when Trump fired James Comey, remember when they meet up and they have a dinner for two? That is unusual in any president meeting with a FBI director, just two of them, and it was going like easy on Michael Flynn. He's a good guy. How's the investigation that I'm being investigated? I want loyalty from you. Remember you hear the whole thing.
So how was that really obstruction to fire a guy? Because hold on, let me get the question out. Because remember, sir, listen, my show, I get to ask the questions, not you. Now, here's my thing. Remember, before the election, before Comey came out and said anything about Hillary Clinton, well, after that, actually, after he said anything about Hillary Clinton before the election, the Democrats wanted James Comey to be fired. Then Trump fires him. All of a sudden, it's a problem. Why? They wanted him to be fired.
It was on the investigation.
So they wanted him to be fired. Hold up. Mm-hmm. So they wanted him to be fired, but since he was investigating Donald Trump, they're going to change their mind. What changed?
Let me explain you why. Okay. So when they investigated Hillary, right? They have 7 hearings. You know, they were hearing one lasted like 10 hours. You remember? 7 hearings. Out of the 7 hearings, they find nothing. 2 weeks before the election, he called me and said he has some more information on Hillary. That's what they wanted to fire him.
Okay.
That's why.
So did they change after that? Did they change?
Okay. The Mueller report specifies that he wanted to fire Comey. Then he told the Attorney General, the one that was at that time, I can't remember his name right now, to fire Mueller, and the guy resigned. So that's 2 obstruction of justice.
So the question I had for you is that the Democrats changed their desire to see James Comey get fired.
I just explained to you why.
The question is, did they change their desire to have him get fired? Yes or no?
But I explained you why. They did change the desire to be fired.
Okay.
Because they investigated Hillary 7 hearings to Congress. They find no wrongdoing with the email investigation. And then 2 weeks before the election, he said, I got something I wanted to reopen the investigation after being closed.
So Comey, hold on, sir. Look, when I say sir and all that kind of stuff, I'm gonna just mute you so can't nobody hear. I'm gonna ask you a question. So, as I was saying before, I was really interrupted. Do you think what Comey did to Hillary Clinton was enough to get him fired? Should he have been fired at that particular point?
Why are we talking about Hillary Clinton when it's Trump?
Sir, I'm just trying to figure out. I just
explained to you.
I'm asking you, sir. Listen to me. Listen. Sir, I mean, every time I start talking, I'm gonna just mute you. If you don't, I'm asking you a question, sir. Do you think that Comey should have been fired after he did that with Hillary Clinton, like 2 weeks before the election? Should he have been fired?
He should have been fired, sure.
Okay, so he should have been fired. So you think he should have been fired at that particular point in time, but the same guy you wanted to be fired needed to stay on after you wanted him to get fired because he was in investigation with Donald Trump? Do you think he would do a good? Hold on. Hold on. Wait. See, let's get down to it. I'm gonna talk right now. You can't talk. You think that Comey should have been fired right at that particular time before the election, but you want that same guy you thought should have been fired to investigate Donald Trump? You thought he would be a trustworthy person to have on that job? You would not want a better person to be there?
Because he was investigating him. The investigation wasn't even over. It started with investigation because Michael Flynn met with the ambassador of Russia because he wanted to ease the sanctions. They intercept the phone call. Michael Page met with Russian officials. So there's collusion. There wasn't enough evidence to prosecute it. Let me tell you this. Do you know the average Joe could go to jail? The average Joe meeting with a drug dealer, having a conversation with a drug dealer without having any drugs or any money involved. That could give you conspiracy charges 20 years. So wasn't enough evidence to prosecute him because he knows you don't want to take down a president, right? First of all, you can't indict a sitting president. Number 2, has Congress have to remove it. Number 2, I don't believe that Mueller wants to, I want to charge him with something, with a lot of lack of evidence that they could be destroyed later on. So that's why
at the end of the day, there was not enough evidence to say anything about anything as opposed to Trump and
Clinton. Wasn't sufficient.
It was sufficient. It was not enough.
That's true. What you just said
it was not enough evidence.
That's what you said. That's what you should say.
Right?
Stop
There's not enough
saying there was
evidence. You're
no
right about
evidence.
that. It's correct.
That wasn't sufficient for evidence for collusion, but it was evidence for obstruction.
No, it wasn't.
Mueller said it was. Mueller said it in the report. He said in the hearing. He said, "Do you absent the president for any wrongdoing?" No. The president should be charged after he leaves the presidency. He said yes.
He didn't say that.
He said that. Look it up. Put it.
He
put
said
it
so.
audience.
Hold on, so you're telling me that Mueller said that Trump should be charged?
He said, "Do you will charge him after he leaves office?" He said yes. Do you find any wrongdoing? Can the president be exempt for obstruction of justice? He said no. He said, that's what they want to enter the impeachment
Hold on.
process.
Okay, so
And
I'm gonna ask you this. I'm asking you this. Sir, I'm asking you this.
To be honest,
Sir, look, I'm gonna ask you this. You gotta just. So did Mueller say that he would, as in absolutely yes, I would charge him, or did he say
he will be?
Sir, I'm not done with the question. I'm not done with the question. You can't answer until I'm finished. Sir, I'm not done with the question. Be quiet, please. Sir, like right now you're muted. Nobody can hear you, so it don't matter. Now the question I asked before. So we interrupted was, did Mueller say that he would charge Trump or that he could charge Trump after he's done?
After he's done, yeah. He said, well, you will charge the president after he's done. Yes, he said, do you, after he finish office, he said, that's why he has to give the report to Congress. It's up to Congress to charge. It's up to Congress, of course. They don't have enough votes to remove him right now because they don't have the votes, so they can't. It's a waste of time what they're doing with this inquiry. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish with that, the Democrats. But, and then the Ukraine thing is garbage. It's just, I don't believe that there was nothing there. And also, I think that was wrongdoing from, hello?
I'm here. Go ahead.
Okay, I think it was a wrongdoing from Biden's son to be sitting in the, as a board member of this company because Biden was the main connection with the president of Ukraine. So I think it was a wrongdoing there. I don't know if there could be charges. I don't think so because it was his son, and then you could put anyone in any board or any company. I mean, the people decided to vote for him to be on the board. That's up to the people in Ukraine. But the guy that was there, I guess the prosecutor wasn't only Biden that wanted to gone. It was the NATO wanted him gone. It was plain corrupt. That's when they wanted him gone. Wasn't only Biden. So it wasn't only like the United States wanted to remove. It was the whole.
So are you saying? So hold on. Are you saying that it was right for Biden to go over there and say that if you don't remove him, we won't give you this money? Is that okay?
Well, I don't think that's appropriate to him to do that. That's up to the country to do that.
Okay.
I don't believe that the United States should intervene in any internal affairs to any nation. I think that's up to him to do that. It's up to him to say. So
it doesn't really matter.
That's up to them.
It don't really matter if the person is corrupt or not because you can't be saying, oh well, do it or else because that's not his place to do.
Well, that's what I just said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
To be an internal situation to them to solve, not up to Biden to. Because he's pretty much is like okay, it's like bullying. It's like Trump what is doing now with Iran. He's bullying them. It's
That's
like,
right.
oh, you don't do what we tell you, we put you on sanctions.
That's right. No
So
doubt.
pretty much it's the same thing that they're doing. And that's what the United States has been doing for years. It's nothing new.
Well,
you don't do what we tell you to do, we punish you.
I got you. But look, check it out. I'm kind of out of time right here, so I thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
So stop saying things that are not true.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you for the call, sir. Appreciate it. All right, shout out to Ivan for the call. Yeah. Now, somebody clarify that for me. Did Mueller say that he would, in fact, charge Trump after he leaves office? Like, did he say, if asked, are you going to charge Trump when he leaves office? Did he say yes? Or did he say that he could? Because the whole thing is it's a directive, not a law. It's kind of like a common practice that says that you don't indict a sitting president. But did he say, I would charge him after he's done? I never heard that. I heard that he said that he didn't charge him because he's in office, but I didn't hear him say that he would. That's a different story. Would or could, that's a big time difference. All right. Point of privilege. Point of privilege. Shout out to you. What's that? Grimmy Saint. I know I butchered that, but I'm sorry. No, he did not. That was media spin. No way he said he would. Yeah. Thank you. I'm just. I want to make sure that I wasn't just losing my mind. That I was still, on the up and up. Let me get to my next call here though. 303, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, you're talking to George in Denver, Colorado.
All righty, George. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm amazed that I got through. I'm not going to give you a long harangue at all, but I love your work. You're one of my most favorite YouTubers, to be honest, and so it's just fun to talk to you.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I mean, it means a lot to me that you're able to, enjoy the content for sure.
Yeah, I really do. You're absolutely one of my most favorite. You're a clear thinker, and you handle these callers very, very well. So I thank you. Good night.
Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. Yeah. All right, shout out to the caller, short and sweet. I appreciate that. I like people that could really appreciate what I'm doing over here for sure. All righty. Now, let me get back to the chat here. You guys are really hilarious. Shout out to Ivan. Shout out to everybody. All right. Let me see. All right, I hope we got Uncle Reggie. What's going on?
What's going on, ABL? How you been, man?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
All right, I gotta look good, man. I'm on TV, man. What's going on, my man? How you doing, Big Ant?
Everything's good. Can't complain.
Anybody ever call you Big Ant?
Oh, when I was a kid, I used to get called Ant when I was like a teenager. I was actually Little Anthony for a long time because my best friend was like my brother. He was Big Anthony. We had the same name. He was older than me. But now I'm like we're like the same size. We both like over 6'3". We're both real tall, so it's like we're both big.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, you said you were over 6 foot tall. I remember hearing you say that a long time ago.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get right into it. This Greta Thunberg, I don't know how to say her name. I don't know. They get if you mispronounce it, they get mad. Hey, that Ivan guy, he finally said something rational. One thing, though, that he thought it was wrong. Yeah.
As far as what? As far as what?
As far as the Joe Biden, his son Hunter over there making backdoor deals. Hey, the big thing is that they went over there on what was that, Air Force 2 or something? They took an official flight over there to take care of that business.
Oh yeah, no, it was dead serious because I think Joe Biden was like the special envoy to Ukraine at a particular point in time. So it was pretty serious.
Yeah, and he brought his kid with, and his kid did these little side deals. Like everybody knew what was going on. Man, let's not try to be, but they did it. They did it at the taxpayers' expenses.
And I gotta say this though. My thing is, okay, you can't get a job at a Waffle House if you are on drugs. How are you gonna get on the board of the energy company getting paid $50,000 a month? I mean, come on. If you smoking crack, how are you gonna even be a fry cook at IHOP? I just don't see how that happens.
Yeah, you got me hanging on that one. I don't know about that, man. Hey, the thing is, but I don't think it's right. Oh, this Greta Thunberg chick. Have you ever looked into the old classics like Gulliver's Travels or Pippi Longstocking? Those old stories.
I've heard of those. I've not read all of them.
Now Pippi she looks and acts just like Pippi Longstocking in her movies. She had the whole theme of the whole thing. It's like to a T. This is like a real life in time version of Pippi Longstocking. She goes on a boat ride. She hates adults. She goes on adventures all around the world with this little kid, and there's no parents,
right,
to speak of. And not. Oh man, it's mind-boggling the way this is playing out. Because I remembered it. There was actually a cartoon version of it too. And incidentally, the real life Pippi Longstocking has OCD and Asperger's and all those other the real life
Oh,
actors
really?
in the 60s. Yeah,
Wow.
and they're from the same country.
Mm.
So yeah,
That's
they're
pretty
from like
interesting.
Sweden or the same part of the world anyway, Sweden or Denmark or somewhere over there. But so
Could be
I looked
related.
into
Who
that.
knows?
There is a connection. I mean, it's actually scary to think about it. So she's like Pippi Longstocking, and I think that'll stick.
Right.
She's Pippi Shortstocking, and all these kids come out. They're throwing tantrums, screaming up and down, yelling up and down. Generation X, Y, and Z. That's because we're the last ones, man. What was that? I don't think that's what they had in mind back in the 50s when they called it Generation X.
Right.
I don't think there's a correlation between X, Y, and Z, and this is the end of the world, and you guys are ruining our childhoods. And like, I think the parents in the room are ruining their childhoods by not telling them there's not a monster under the bed. There is a monster under the bed, and there's another one in the closet. And as soon as you walk out the front door, there's another one there, and they're scaring the bejesus out of these kids. And they don't know any better. Now they're, you're talking about 8, 9 years old kids are scared half to death of something that may or may not happen. It's a theory.
Right. Exactly. And I saw that. I saw Kamala Harris have to console one of these people that came up to her crying, tears. I don't want to die because of climate change. I mean, just crazy. But that's the kind of people we're producing right now, because you got these kids scared to death of everything around them. They're thinking that if they don't give a bunch of money to Al Gore or somebody or Greta Thunberg, that they won't live to see tomorrow.
Yeah, what happened to parents that taught their kids everything's going to be okay? We're going to be okay. We're going to here to protect you. And instead, now they got the kids trying to run the world, and they don't even know anything about the world.
That's right.
Just from what they hear on the TV and their parents tell them, and shame on it. And yes, her father is a washed-up actor, and the mother is a washed-up singer, and they're trying to get back in the spotlight and live precariously through their daughter. So, kids that put their kids in pageants, beauty pageants, that kind of thing, they do the same thing to their kids. It's on the TV that they had a show on TV where all the little kids are going to these pageants and competing against each other, and that's what they're doing to their kids. They're living vicariously through their children. So right. It's the things that they couldn't be. Now their children, they're putting them up on stage, and there's money to be made. There is money being made. There's a GoFundMe and everything like that. The parents are in charge of their finances.
Obviously. Oh no, it's plenty of money. Yeah, definitely plenty of money. Ain't no question about that. There's a book and everything with Greta Thunberg. So I mean, that's been out already before she even became popular. So it's definitely cash.
And shame on they have no scruples. Those people are scrupulous.
Yes.
Unscrupulous. So all right, Big Amp, you have a good day. Everybody, click them thumbs ups. I'm gonna get blasting out of here. I just got a new job. I'm living in Wisconsin now. This is my new house, and this one's not on wheels.
but congrats, man. Congrats.
Making money.
There it is.
All right, baby. You have a good one.
All right, man. Appreciate the call.
All right. I love you. Peace.
Peace. All right. Shout out to my man, Uncle Reggie, for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Now, I'm hearing about the potential whistleblower. It could be somebody by the name of Sue Gordon, possibly. It's a rumor. It's not been confirmed yet. So don't nobody say, you're spreading fake information. I'm just saying what it could be. And I'm not really sure what position she held before, but this could be her. Hold on. Let me just pull her picture up. Matter of fact, I'm going to use this one. And you guys will see why I'm kind of smiling. All right. So this is her right here. And here's Christine Blasey Ford. I mean, I'm just saying, are they look kind of similar? Maybe it's just the outfit, the dark clothes, and I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But yeah, that's her right there, Sue Gordon. Allegedly. Potentially. Possibly. And I heard that she left in a really, she wrote a resignation letter, and it was kind of like in haste, talking about, I say this out of patriotism and respect, not preference. You should have your team. It was really weird the way she left. The timeline kind of matches up. We don't know who the whistleblower is, but it could be Miss Sue Gordon or whatever prefix this person wants. But I digress. Let's get back to the calls. 323 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Snap Turtle was good, man.
Everything's good, man. What's going on?
ABL. Working, drive a lot. I got like 12 different job sites to visit as a general foreman, so it's crazy. It was good, man.
Hey, everything's great, man.
Talk to you in a minute.
Yeah, everything's been going good, man. How about yourself?
Just peeping a lot of crazy stuff, just tripping out on this whole Greta Thunberg situation and how it reminds me of the March for Our Lives situation. Or the March Against Our Rights, my bad.
Pretty much, right. You had it right.
You know what I'm saying? Did you see that bill that they're trying to introduce to Congress?
Which bill is this?
People? It's an assault weapons ban, right?
Uh-huh.
It's a whole package. It's banning assault weapons, high capacity magazines, quote unquote, registration, universal background checks, all rolled into one. And we have all these Democratic presidential hopefuls introducing similar bills, but this one is absolutely ridiculous. And I see the game they're playing, using the children. They're pimping the children out, man. They're pimping them out. And when they do that, as soon as you argue against what they're trying to push, they try to turn it into an ad hominem attack. But it really isn't. Like with the guy pointing out that she had a mental illness is very much true. I mean, she does have a mental illness, and that makes it even worse that they're putting her out there like that.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
And if you think about how she started this whole thing, she said that she had an epiphany in class and just left class and decided to get on the sailboat.
Wow.
Now, let me ask you something. I know she's from Sweden, right?
Yeah.
But in how many countries would they allow a student to walk out of class and go on a sailboat without CPS or something getting involved?
Not very many because, first of all, you got security reasons. You can't just let kids just leave and stuff like
absolutely
that.
Absolutely
not. Yeah.
Yeah, and so the game is to make people think that these children are a lot more precocious than they really are. Children, they can be precocious. And she's not really a child, right? She's a teenager. But what I'm saying is, they have 10, 9, and 11-year-olds getting on stage screaming at people, and it's all about emotionalism. We have to be careful with emotionalism. We got to stay strong in our freedom. We got to stand tall in our freedom and not let emotion overtake us, because ever since the time of Rome, they have been using pathos to sway people on their side, right? Appeal to emotion. And that's what they're doing with these kids, man. It's dangerous. Operating out of emotion is the most dangerous thing you could do when you want to protect your freedoms. Because, if you look into the Hegelian dialectic, this is exactly what they're doing. Problem, reaction, solution. Create a problem, like the climate change situation, right?
Yeah.
Are you still there?
I'm here.
Yeah. So. Create a problem, climate change, right? Get the people to react. And in this case, it's the kids, right? Getting on stage screaming and reading speeches from pieces of paper as if they wrote it. You know darn well they didn't write it. They just read real good.
Correct.
And then you get the people to react, right? And then you present a solution. And I don't know if you heard, but some of these kids were talking about Green New Deal and all this other stuff. And that's the solution. The Green New Deal, it's a game, man. And they think they slick. They think we're stupid. But, yeah, we can't operate in emotion. You got to stand tall for our freedoms. And that means against any enemy that would stomp on that, And that's what they want to do. This Green New Deal is not about climate change, right? There's maybe 1 or 2 lines in there about that. The rest of it is about turning this into a socialist country. That's what they want. So, yeah, it's crazy how they do that, man. And they should be ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed of themselves for throwing those kids out there, using tragedy, like Rahm Emanuel said, never letting a good tragedy go to waste. That should tell you how these people think. These people do not care about the children's lives. They don't care about your life. They don't care about any of that. All they care about is a transfer of power and making laws. Every time they create a law, they're transferring more power from the people to themselves. And this is what we have to be careful of. We need fewer laws. We need laws that make sense, not random, laws like you can't fart in a room with 1 million people, because then you're going to cause the CO2 to go up. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Like,
that's right.
What's the difference between a cow fart and a human fart? And they talk about the CO2 stuff. It's like CO2. We're all carbon based.
I mean, it's all dumb. It's all dumb anyway, because you're talking about carbon emitters. I mean, the U.S. is nowhere near China and India. They never talk about them.
Heck no.
They never say, we're going to go to China and talk to Xi Jinping, because Xi Jinping's not trying to hear that. You're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to go over there and tell them anything. So they don't waste their time.
Nope, they do not, man. You going after these small countries? Why are you suing these small countries? What are they going? Argentina? What is Argentina going to do?
Right, exactly.
Argentina is probably like 80% jungle. What are you talking about?
Right.
Like it makes little to no sense, and we have to break through these echo chambers. We got to reach the people. We got to reach everybody. Because my first priority is to make sure our freedoms are secure, and not to fall for the BS. So that's all I got for you, man. Keep up the good work, man. Hopefully one day I can get you a little bit less of off of the status side, but you're strong in your beliefs, and I feel like you're one of the genuine ones. There are a lot of what do they call those people? Shields? Not shields, but what's the other word they use? Not a shield. The people that I forgot what they call it. Tim Pool uses it all the time. He doesn't say shield though. He says something else.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're not genuine. You're just doing it to gain notoriety.
Oh, what did they say? Grifter? Really... Is it a grifter?
Grifter, yes. Grifter. Yeah, I know you're not one. I know you're genuine in what you believe, and I know you're a freedom lover, right? I know you're a freedom lover. I know you believe in less government. I know you believe in less government intervention and all that other stuff. So, I mean, I'm with you on that. But I wish that we could just come to full independence and volunteerism. Volunteerism meaning that you don't necessarily not pay taxes. You just volunteer. Like, if you want something done, everybody pitches in voluntarily instead of being extorted. Like, I'm going to take this from you, and I'm going to spread it out everywhere else. And that's what these socialists want to do. Right? That's right. On the scale of on a 10 on the scale.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, so it's a slippery slope. Anyway, I'm gonna get out your hair, man.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, thank you, man. Bye.
All right, shout out to my man for the call. My man Snap Turtle for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. 1,000%. All righty. I got super chats on deck. Thank you all for donating. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing, liking, sharing, all that good stuff. Shout out to Christopher Rodriguez, who says, why don't you go on Ben Shapiro or Crowder, ABL? Well, I would if they invited me. I've not been invited, so that's the only reason why I've not been. But I definitely would love to go if they invited me. So shout out to them. If anybody from Shapiro or Crowder or watching, hey, bring me on the show. I'd love to be there. Thank you to Devil's Advocate. Shout out to you, man, for the donation, who says, bro, a 5-year-old is now registered sex offender for hugging and kissing on classmates. I can't do it anymore. I've given up hope and concerns to humanity. There isn't any salvation for us. Now, that is crazy. I mean, I want to know where this happened, and I want to see the story, because, I mean, that's absurd. That's just really absurd. But thank you for that, man. I definitely appreciate you. And, hey, I don't even blame you if you say, you know what, I'm just done. I forget it, because stuff like that, it's ridiculous. But I want to see that story to see what's really going on and to figure out why that happened. Thank you to my man Matthew Richardson, who says, same Lord represents her, represents me. Now, when you say represents her, who do you mean? Oh, the whistleblower? Okay. Wow. All right, I'll talk to you about that, man. Thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. I see your message over here. I'm going to try to get to that when I can. Thank you to Oliver Shorn, who says, sorry, just joining. You covered the trash cleanup them Trump supporters did out here in Cali. It's reported 50 tons of trash were removed. Scott Presler was there and in Baltimore too. I did not cover that one. I think I was out of town when that happened, but thank you for your donation and the reminder. If you don't know, Scott Presler, who is a conservative, happens to be gay, he goes out and he's like a kind of like an activist. He's from my home of like the Virginia Beach area of Virginia. I'll see him on the side of the road, like on Kentsville, close to Farrell Parkway. If you're from that area, you know what I'm talking about. He'll be out there with a sign that says "Blacks Before Illegals." That's him. He's like real tall, long haired guy. Anyway, he and some volunteers went to Baltimore first and did a cleanup there. Volunteer effort, no money involved, just volunteer effort. And they got a bunch of trash that had not been cleaned up by the city out of there within a day. They go to LA, do the same thing. Now in LA, it's a whole different ball game because you got biohazards, all kind of stuff out there. All right. They cleaned up 50 tons of trash in LA, all volunteer work. They were donated hazmat suits and they might have been given water and some food. That's it. It was not a money-making operation. It was strictly volunteerism from conservative Trump supporters. Now, my question would be, why did it take a bunch of volunteers that are not from LA or that may not necessarily be from LA? Some may be from there, some may not be. But why did it take a guy that's from Virginia to come all the way across the country to gather up some volunteers to clean up the trash for free when you have the Democrats that are in the city, a very rich city at that, or the county, LA County? They have all the money and resources there to clean up the trash, but they didn't do it. Why did it take the volunteers to do it? You see what's going on with these people? Like, they don't put the priorities in the right place. They'll give the homeless a bunch of money for their drugs and stuff like that. But when you're talking about cleaning up trash, eliminating biohazards, things that could cause like the plague and typhus, hepatitis, they just let it rot. And they got all the money from your taxes. What are they doing with it? But I'll move on. Shout out to Scott Presler for doing that. That was a fantastic thing he did to get all that trash up out of there. Volunteer work. Meanwhile, the Democrats have all the money from your taxes and don't do anything about it. You calling them to pick up the trash, they don't do anything about it. That's government for you, but we'll move on. Thank you to Kevin Smith, who says, hello, sir. Thanks for what you do for our offspring. Hey, I thank you for your donation and your very kind words. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Matthew Richardson, who says there was no investigation when Comey was fired. I appreciate you for your comment and your donation. Thank you to Mandatory Carey, who says keep fighting. Hey, I most certainly will do, boss. Thank you for your donation. And did I get everybody? Oh, shout out to Marco Grande, who says, did Greta ditch school today also? I mean, I'm guessing so. I don't think she's in school. She said, I should be in school on the other side of the ocean. So apparently she was not in school when she's supposed to be. I think at this particular point in time, it's probably just go ahead and drop out. Why even go to school anymore? You are now the new Al Gore. Just do that. It's like these guys that don't go to college and want to go straight to the league, you know, to the NBA or to play baseball. It's like that. Why go to college? You can just go make millions of dollars. You know, just skip your last year in school. You're not learning anything that's really valuable, obviously. Just skip that and become Al Gore. Millionaire rest of your life. Hopefully your parents don't take all your money, but different story. I digress. Let me get back to the calls. 561, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill. This is Jay from South Florida. How you doing?
Everything's good, man. What's going on?
Nothing much, man. We'll see you next week.
Oh yeah, man. You're gonna be at BOS.
Yeah, first time. Me and I told my family I was gonna go, and they said they want to go too. So, mom, dad, two little brothers want to come with me.
Oh, that'd be great, man. You're gonna have a great time. There's a lot of great people there, a lot of networking, and we're gonna have a good trip that's already scheduled, and a bunch of more things we'll do. The speakers and everything. It's gonna be great for sure. So you're gonna have a great time there.
All right, yeah. I'm calling you to let you know I'm going to be there. So if I see you, I'll let you know who I am. It's Jay, my mom and dad, and everything.
Oh, definitely, man. Coming up to me, man. You'll see me, man. I'm a tall guy, man. I'm like 6'3". You'll see me. So, yeah, come on up to me, man.
Yeah.
Say what's up.
All right, yeah, my brother's gonna be there. He's like your height and everything. Yeah, me and you are the same age, but anyways, I mean, I'm a little bit older, but I want to ask you. You said Ben Carson could be there.
He might be there. He was there last time, so he might be there this time.
Yeah, it's one guy I really wanted to meet, but I because I have all his books.
Oh, definitely. I met him last time actually, briefly. Like I had like 2 seconds to talk to him, but I was able to kind of meet him briefly.
Okay. And the other YouTube conservative like Joel Patrick, Lucas, and Kevin, and conservative New York are going to be there.
Kevin will not be. Pardon me. Lucas will not be there. I talked to him last night. He's not going to be there. Joe Patrick will be there. Yes. Kevin's Corner. He may be there. I'm not really sure if he is, but I know Joe Patrick will be there. David Harris Jr. will be there. A lot of us are going to be there. And the speakers so far, we got Candace Owens, of course, Rob Smith,
Right.
Deneen Borelli, Larry Elder, Brandon Tatum is going to be there, of course. Mark Burns, John Miller from White House Brief, Angela Stanton King, Mark Robinson, Charlie Kirk, and David Harris Jr. That's the stated speakers, but there could be more. You have surprises sometimes, and then we go on little trips, and it could be more that speak there that are not on the official website. So it'd be good.
Okay, but Trump, yeah, you don't know if Trump's going to be anywhere there.
That's possible. I don't know. I don't know, but that's definitely possible because, like I said, last time we went to the White House and Trump spoke to us. That could happen, but I don't really know.
Okay. And this is my last thing. Candace Owens, when she went to Atlanta with T.I. and them, man, it's like you want to explain things. You're trying to open the door when you're trying to explain things, and then he doesn't want you to talk. It is like, I mean, I want to tell her, man, you did the best you can, but those people, I don't know, man. It's like their point is not even valid. They don't want to hear the truth. And I'm hearing that I saw the revolt after video. There's a lot of videos after the Candace and Tia, even Hot 97. Everybody was talking about it and whatever. Of course, all the negative was about Candace, but a lot of people commented how good it was for her to go there. The people who are on TV were commenting very negatively, and it's like they're not living in the reality. A lot of people were supporting her in the comments, and what she did was very brave of her. And what T.I. did, man, I have no respect for him. I kind of like Killer Mike. I just don't agree with him, talking about two masters or whatever, but I disagree with him. Cousin Jeff, I knew him from BET. I didn't like the guy anyways. And, of course, Tamika Mallory, she's crazy. What's your thoughts on that, ABL?
Now, I'm with you on that. Yeah, I know Jeff from back in BET as well. When he was on Rhapsody, he come on with Big Tigger. Like, they just be having Rhapsody, and then, you have Cousin Jeff come in and talk about some political stuff occasionally. I remember him from there. So, that was kind of a familiar face. Tamika Mallory didn't really add too much to the conversation, just, typical leftist talking points. T.I., to some people in the black community, unfortunately, appears to be intelligent, but if you are a person that thinks a little bit for yourself, he's not really intelligent. He'll just say whatever sounds good on CNN to him. And especially the part you're talking about, white boys with AR-15s. It's like, T.I., you've been to jail 30-something times. You are a several-time convicted felon. And as a convicted felon, you had a whole arsenal of guns in your house. So it lets me know that gun laws don't work and you don't like gun laws. So why are you talking about white boys with AR-15s being a problem? You are a felon. You can't have guns, but you had a whole arsenal. I mean, this guy had guns that were like exotic. Like, I don't even know where you got that. That looks like it was probably custom made just for you, but you're a felon and you can't have guns and went to jail for having guns. And only did 1 year in jail despite being a repeat felon with several guns in his house. How did that happen? I don't know, but I'll leave it alone.
Right. He's a hypocrite. He was going on these shows talking about he won a debate. He didn't win a debate. He was just like Roland Martin. They just don't allow you to talk. And Roland Martin calling her a crazy Republican and all that. So we already know how they think, and I didn't like what Ebro said about Candace Owens. It was very harsh, man. Man, it was nasty as hell. Him and some guy named Jinx, some Revolt. This is some things that disgusting. But anyways, ABL, thanks, man. All right, like I said, I'll see you next week, and thank you for the call, man.
All right, man. See you then.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to my man Jake from South Florida. Most certainly appreciate the call. And if you guys coming to BLS, let me know. I got BLS coming up. That'll be October the 3rd through the 5th. And then I have American Priority Summit and Conference. Pardon me, American Priority Conference and Festival. That'll be October the 10th through the 12th. And then I have Politicon from October 26th and the 27th. I think that's Saturday and Sunday for Politicon. The first event, BLS, is going to be in D.C. Then I have the AMP Fest, American Priority Festival and Conference. That'll be in Miami, Florida. And Politicon will be in Nashville. So a lot of traveling coming up. Hopefully I see some of you guys there. It'll be great. And shout out to everybody for calling. Let me get to my next call. 773, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
What up, ABL? It's Windy City.
Windy City, what's going on?
Man, you got it, man. How you been?
Everything's been great, man. Can't complain.
That's good. That's good. So, yeah, I seen that girl from Sweden talking at the UN about the climate change and all that stuff.
Yeah.
God, that just seemed weird to me, man. It's like it reminds me of when they had all them kids in Florida trying to tell us about set policy for gun laws and all that stuff. That's what it reminded me of. They just use like little kids to push their own agenda. They don't care.
Yeah, pretty much. It's crazy. You know, I think that's kind of like a form of child abuse, but I guess we don't talk about that anymore. I mean, it's really weird how these kids are being used, and really it's her parents that are doing it because they already had a book out there. The part about it that really irritated me is that it was a book written about the little girl's or the young girl's life, and her mom was on the front cover. Just her mom by herself, a picture of her mom's face. I'm like, if the book is about the girl, why are you on the front cover? Is it about
you would think the girl would be on the front cover, right?
Yeah, is it about the kid or is it about you? Like, what's really going on?
See, I didn't even know that. That makes it even more awkward. That whole thing was just like, it was just super awkward. It was cringy, man.
Yeah.
And you could tell she was like totally acting. And I know I've heard rumors that supposedly this girl has like mental health issues and stuff. I'll be honest, I could be wrong. She looked like kind of like almost like mild Down syndrome or something. I don't know. Maybe you know more about the mental stuff. Because people say things and a lot of times it's not always true, you know?
Yeah, I don't really know too much about, I'm not a doctor, so I can't even really say. All I know is that in the book, the mom said that she had some mental disorders. So I just go based on that. If you have mental disorder, then it is what it is. They're talking about the guy, Michael Knowles was wrong for saying what he said, but according to his mom, he was correct.
Yeah, so it's just crazy, man. They just use these kids like pawns, man. They're like pimping them out.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just weird. Like, it reminds me, too, like, there's no child abuse. Why you got, like, I was watching, they were having, like, drag queen storybook hour.
Yeah.
It's like, these kids are real, like, they're like naive at that age. They're not even fully developed, and you're putting all these things in their mind that they shouldn't even have to contemplate or think about at that age. That's all stuff for when you become, an adult.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so, but there's one thing I want to talk about. I know it's not on the thing today. A lot of people keep trying to give Obama credit for the economy.
Yeah.
And they try to state like, oh, it's his policies and stuff. But people have such short memories. If you remember, you could take the unemployment rate of Obama and cut it in half because everybody got bumped down to part-time jobs under Obama because of the Obamacare.
That's right. 100%.
Everybody had to keep, I think it was if it was anything over 29 hours, then they wanted the company to pay for your health care. So a lot of people got put from full-time to part-time, and people were working two jobs when they used to have just a single job getting 40 hours a week.
That is right. 100%.
And they never talk about that. So his unemployment rate, you could cut it in half. I mean, or you could double it up, and that's the real rate that it would be.
Right. See, like the whole thing, it's just, the numbers are deceiving. You got to look at the whole situation. What are the policies that you have on the books? If you have restrictive policies that kind of constrain employment, then you're not going to have a good situation on the ground. People are going to feel that. If you got to have health care when you work in some kind of part-time, low-wage job, and you get in like 38 hours, and they say, all right, you know what, we're going to cut you down to 28 hours. That's a lot of money for somebody that is on a low amount of money per hour.
Yeah, and then the bad part is it's even more money in the long run because now you're traveling to 2 separate locations.
Right.
Just to get your 40 hours in.
That's right. That's right. You're working harder and getting like less or the same amount of money.
Right. And then the other problem is that there was another guy that calls in and he's all like pro illegal immigrant, and he makes it sound like the more illegal immigrants, they put more into the system than they cost, which that just makes no sense logically either, because if that's the case, we could just open up the borders, let everybody in, and then America should be we'll all just be swimming in money.
That's right. 100% correct.
That's not how it works. Like they're so hypocritical and they contradict themselves. Like it just drives me crazy all the time.
I'm right there with you, man. It's really a mess. I mean, they say certain things to prop up their points when they want to, but they know that it's not real. It's not reality.
Right. But I'm out here on the south side. We all on the motorcycles. I'm on 79th and State in the middle of the hood, but this is where everybody meets up at the bikes.
No doubt.
I figure I'd call in. I'm just waiting for the guys to show up, and I'll be watching the show and everything. And I don't know if you realize this, man, but what you do makes a big difference, ABL. Your show makes a big difference, man. You red pilling people every single day, man. So to me, you are like a true American patriot, man, and I really appreciate what you do, man. Don't ever underestimate how important it is what you do with your show.
Hey, man, thank you, man. I definitely appreciate that. It means a lot to me, for real.
All right, cool, man. Take it easy. I'm going to watch the rest of the show and then hang out on these bikes.
All right, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you. Enjoy yourself.
All right, peace.
Peace. All right, that was Windy City with the call. Thank my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And thank you all for being here. The number to call, if you don't know, is 434-658-1220. Again, 434, there it is, 658-1220. That's the number to call. If you want to get in through Skype and be right here in the bottom left-hand corner, there's the email for that in the description box. But let me get to my next call. 262, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
My name's Peter.
All righty. What's going on?
Yeah, hey, I really appreciate everything you do on YouTube. It's great to see and watch everything you do. It's really sad. How would I describe it? How far we've fallen. It's sad. We need to be better. And the Democratic Party is, they're just, with Joe Biden and his son and everything, it's sad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you, for sure.
Yeah, now, it should be investigated. And Trump, Trump's, he's not entirely, he hasn't been, forthright, but we need to look more into Biden and see what he's really doing here.
I mean, it's pretty clear what's going on. Like, there's a standard for the left and a standard for the right. Because imagine if this were Trump that had the same exact thing that Biden actually said he did on television, not even accused of or could be investigated for. He said it just from what he said. Imagine if Trump got on TV and said that exact same thing. The reaction would be totally different. And people can't say, well, it's the president, different standard. No, because Biden was a vice president at the time, number one. Number two, he's trying to become the president right now. So there should be the same standard applied to the former vice president and current presidential hopeful and the current president. But it's not, because you have left versus right.
This is true. You are correct. He was the vice president at the time. He used his influence to prop up his son. Not prop up, but more or less, it was an exoneration of his son's influence into the dealings in the Ukraine. And they refused to investigate it. Why is that?
I think there's something to hide. I think there's a bigger thing here that people aren't really able to see, and there's something else to hide. Or it could just be simply they want to protect them because they're on the left, or both.
And why does CNN, MSNBC, even Fox at times, why don't they show the full picture?
Well, that's the establishment media. The establishment, they're going to, they have certain interests to protect. They have people that they have to answer to, and that's just kind of how that is. Now, when you come to the alternative media, it's not quite that way. We don't have that type of situation going on, so we're able to be more free with what we say. But the mainstream media has certain constraints. They can't really go outside of that. If they do, then it'll be a problem. Just like Michael Knowles, he got reprimanded by Fox for saying that Greta Thunberg was mentally ill, although it's a fact that she is, according to her own mother.
When you label a person Greta Thunberg, she's deficient in some way, or a person, you don't want to be racist. They're a person of color. They don't have the capacity. Bullshit. They sure as shit have.
Oh, hold on, caller. No cursing, caller.
Go.
Right now, but I'm with you.
Okay, Greta Thunberg. Here's the thing: she's a child. You don't want to put too much weight into the opinion of a child. Have they learned something? Yes, great. That's great. And it's just sad that we've broken down all these things into these micro. Yeah, it's sad. Right, I'm out.
All right. Well, I thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks, man.
All right, now take care.
Take care.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. All right. Hey, Devil's Advocate. I got that story about the situation that happened in the school. Hold on. I got super chats to read right quick. Then I'm gonna get to that story with the boy and all of that. Let me see. Shout out to Ken Warren, who says, "We the people." Yes, we are. Thank you for recognizing the merchandise I have, the hats and all of that. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you for your donation as well. Thank you to Snap Turtle, who says, reach out to Brian from High Impact Flicks. He'd love to have you on his YouTube channel. I'll reach out to him and see what's going on, man. Thank you for that. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Americana, who says, John Solomon will publish documents on the Bidens tomorrow. Biden is done. Trump should tell Barr to go after him. This is war. Yeah, I mean, I think the situation that happened, regardless of whether left or right, is just outright corrupt. And I don't know why Biden thought that it would be a good idea to go on TV and say that. Like, it was crazy to see him say it, because the guys on stage that were right next to him, they were kind of squirming, and it was just really weird. So I don't know if it's just if Biden's mind is failing him, or if he just does not really understand that you can't do something like that. But thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. Devil's Advocate says, this happened in Tennessee. Chattanooga. V covered it. It's real. I researched it. I couldn't believe it when I read it. Now, what I'm talking about, if you don't know in the chat, and thank you for your donation, Devil's Advocate, definitely appreciate you, is the earlier thing that he said was that a 5-year-old is now considered a registered sex offender for hugging and kissing on classmates. Now, I'm in Tennessee, so I got a little bit of local news here. let me put this up. It says family of 5-year-old with autism says he was punished for hugging. District disputes the information. Now, without getting too long into the article, the county where this happened says that it was not a hug or a kiss that prompted disciplinary action, but they can't really get into exactly what happened. And the characterization of him being a sexual predator is not accurate. Now, it's hard to tell who's telling the truth or what's going on, but the school says, well, the county says it didn't happen the way that it's being reported. But the report that was out there was out there. Okay. Now, the original story before they edited it, it says one family says their 5-year-old son with autism is being punished for giving his classmate a hug. East Ridge Elementary leaders say the boy overstepped his boundaries, but his family says the whole thing is a big misunderstanding. So I don't really know. We're going to see what happens with that. I feel like there's a lot of misinformation out there. I think something did happen where he did something, but at the same time, I think there's more to this story. But as far as him being a sexual predator and all of that, I don't see that evidence there. And if that is the case, then that's crazy. Whoever's involved with that needs to really get a reality check and see what's going on. But let's get to my next call here. Nippin, what's going on?
Well done, Nancy. Well done for getting Trump re-elected. She's basically got Trump re-elected.
That's right.
By trying to impeach him. Well done. I have to give her credit for that. Well done.
I mean, that's 100% correct because, like, I saw this coming. And I'm like, okay, as soon as she does it, that's pretty much going to seal the election because they pretty much have waved the white flag and they're saying, we give up. We don't have anybody that can defeat you in the actual campaign. So now we got to do this. And we're not going to be successful. So you're going to win.
Getting now, what a lot of people don't understand is that getting impeached is not the same as getting removed from office. Bill Clinton was impeached, but he wasn't removed from office.
That is correct.
That's what the Republicans tried to do to him back in the 90s, and then he ended up getting re-elected.
Yep, it totally backfired.
The same. Look, it works both ways. The Republicans tried to impeach him when he was the president. He just ended up getting re-elected. Same thing will happen with Trump.
100% correct.
And regardless of whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, there's a history of, what do you call it? There's a history of incumbents getting re-elected. You have a 75% chance of getting re-elected if you're an incumbent.
Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of things that are working in Trump's favor. You have the fact that he's an incumbent. He's very popular. The left have very weak candidates, and they're trying to do this whole impeachment thing that cannot be successful. It can't, because even if they have enough, even if they say, okay, we're going to file articles of impeachment, you got to go to the Senate and have them convict him. And how are you going to get 2/3 of the Senate when it's controlled by a majority Republican? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, back then, when what's his name, Clinton was president, everything was in his favor. The House was Democratic, the Senate was Democratic. That's why the Republicans couldn't impeach him.
Yeah.
So yeah, like they say in our country, put it in your pipe and smoke it.
That's right.
You buttered your bread. Now eat it.
That is correct.
And yeah, when are people actually going to forget the rhinos, forget the neocons, forget the far leftists? When are people actually going to concentrate on what is Joe and Hunter that are the real problems and get off Trump. And I don't know, find a proper candidate to challenge Trump, to realistically challenge him.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, find somebody that can actually win, because who they have right now is not going to get it done.
Well, a lot of your viewers are saying Tulsi Gabbard.
But see, you know what? Tulsi Gabbard, listen, Tulsi Gabbard has a lot of views that many of us on the right agree with, which is going to work against her, but because she wanted to be
why would they work against her?
Because listen, she's running as a Democrat. So if you have a Democrat that has views that a lot of us on the right agree with, that's going to be the opposite of what would be wanted on the left. So if she would have come over here and run, there'd be better chance of her winning than it would be for her on the left. Although she still couldn't win because you got Trump as the incumbent.
Of course, no one can win.
Right.
I mean, even if Mike Pence did it, which he wouldn't. Let's be perfectly clear.
Right.
Even he wouldn't win it.
Right.
Yeah. So the whole Ukraine thing, was that really corruption, or is it just the Democrats?
Are you saying that? Are you asking if Trump was corrupt?
Yeah.
Well, it's just Democrats acting up. Now, the whole thing with Ukraine, what Trump did was have a phone call with the president, Zelensky. In that phone call, he was saying, hey, we do a lot for Ukraine. We help you guys out a lot. And other countries in Europe don't do as much, like Germany. And then the president of Ukraine agreed with him and said that France, same way, they don't do a lot for us. And later in the phone call, Trump says that he would like, if he looked into the president, if he was able to look into some of the corruption that's happening, since he's an anti-corruption person, including the Joe Biden and Hunter Biden thing, because he saw Joe Biden on TV talking about how he basically extorted Ukraine for $1 billion. Okay, he saw that on TV, so he was talking about that. The media are saying that since he said we do a lot for you guys in the beginning of the phone conversation, and then at the end he says, you know, can you look into this, among other things, that he was trying to say, if you don't investigate Hunter and Joe Biden, you will not get the aid money that we have earmarked for you already. Although he did not say anything about the money in the phone call.
Well, if there's something about money, he should just, investigate Hunter and Joe. I mean, they're the ones who need to be investigated, not the Trump administration.
Of course. See, that would make sense. That's logical thinking on your part. But the Democrat Party are not logical thinking people. They want to investigate Trump because of the phone call, but not Hunter and Joe for what Joe Biden said on TV.
Now, what is it with Swedish Al Gore, or should I say female Al Gore?
Yeah, Greta Thunberg. Yeah, hey, just trying to get some money, trying to get some attention, and really trying to please her parents. Because at the end of the day, I think it's their parents that have put her up to this.
Oh, come on, give that girl a brain. She can think for herself. She can be helped.
Yeah, that's right.
It's before it's too late. She can be helped.
Yeah, I mean, just the parents got to go. That's the main thing. The parents got to get out of here because they are pretty much poisoning this young girl. And it's really a shame. It's unfortunate to see it.
That's sad.
Yeah, man. But I think that's pretty much. You got so much you want to say right quick?
Yeah, there was.
All right, go ahead. Go for it.
What was that speech that Nancy Pelosi was doing? Oh, it was in one of your videos. She was like 20 years younger.
Oh, she was talking about the Clinton impeachment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
and she was saying how it's wrong. It's not a good thing to do. It's you're being vindictive. This, that, and the third. Now the exact
All
same
of
thing
this.
that the exact same thing that she said back then can be applied to her in the Democratic Party.
Yeah, she used to be a lot more centrist back then. Like, she used to be like, I don't know, maybe a bit of a Joe Manchin type Democrat.
Maybe so, but definitely not nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe Manchin is one of the few Democrats left that I can actually trust.
Yeah, but I think that at the end of the day, you need to have people that are actually on the right. You got some Democrats that are okay, but when it's all said and done, they're still Democrats, man. But hey, I got some calls on the line, so I got to get to them. And thank you for the call as always.
To you, ABL.
Oh, always, man, definitely. Great call.
I shall see. Yeah. Sorry, what was that?
No, I said always, man.
Yeah. I shall see you on Sunday.
All right, Sunday, your time, Saturday, my time.
Yeah, I'll see you then.
All righty.
Peace.
All righty. Thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate them. And shout out to you guys for the super chats. Thank you to Crush Groovin for your super chats. I definitely appreciate you. 1000%. And did I get everybody on super chat? I got my man Crush Groovin. Did I get everybody else? Yeah, I got everybody. Thank you all for being here. I most certainly appreciate you. If you're just not coming into the stream, please give the video a thumbs up. If you are a first-time viewer, please subscribe to the channel. It's free. It won't hurt nothing. Go ahead and do it right now. Let me get to my next call. All right, Jordan, what's happening?
Nothing much, ABL. You can hear me?
I hear you well.
All right, that's good. How you doing?
Everything's great, man. Can't complain.
That's good. Hey, just some quick news. Did you know that New York City is proposing to ban chocolate milk from public schools?
Wow, really? I mean, that's crazy.
But
why? I don't understand.
They cite health concerns that they want to just make their kids healthier, something along the lines of that.
I mean, like, it's chocolate milk. Like, come on, that's absurd.
It's New York City, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, that'll explain it. New York City.
Yeah. But it's just something I wanted to tell you last week, but I never got the chance to. The whole Greta situation, when stuff like this happens, memes come up, and the memes of Greta staring at Trump when he was making his speech, just golden. It was great. It was like some people were thinking, imagine, if Donald Trump, a big orange man, had a fight with the 14-year-old, the 16-year-old girl, top 10 anime fights. I really am concerned that a bunch of grown people are taking leadership and advice from somebody who is still in their high school years. That's concerning. That grown men and grown women are being lectured by children or teens in that case. In the case of things like David Hogg and now Greta, it's very worrisome that we're headed this path.
I mean, I agree with you 100%. I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
that's how the left does. They try to get people that how can I say that the public will support because of a particular thing. It might be disabled, might be young, or something that's some kind of hook to get you in there. A so-called person of color, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it really goes to show the morality that these people have. I remember there was a shooting way back when, and Ben Shapiro was on. I mean, I have my criticism with Ben Shapiro, but he was on the Piers Morgan show where he was still working on CNN. And the first thing that Piers Morgan thought about was, let's bring a child of a child victim of a shooting outside and have him directly talk to Ben Shapiro. And Ben Shapiro was like, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to use him for your own purposes. And that you would think it was a one shot back then, but now it seems to be pretty frequent because children and teenagers are being used to push political agendas. When AOC, and a lot of this has to do with Ocasio-Cortez and her lies. It seems like that whole "the world will end in 12 years" spec that she was peddling this whole time, it was a lie because she doesn't know how to read statistics. But even when she backed away from that claim, the whole "I was only pretending to be retarded" thing, it seems like young people, particularly young people, fell for it and are being used to justify and are using that to justify it. It seems like no amount of correction or reassurance will do anything with it.
Nah, because it's already out there. That's what they do. They'll say something on the left. They'll put it out there, leave it out there for a while, and get a lot of attention. And then they'll come back and say, "Oh, well, I'm sorry, I misquoted myself, this, that, and the third." But no, it's already out there now. The damage has been done. So it doesn't matter that you try to walk it back. It's already out there. Now it's like the gospel.
Yeah, it seems like this is like sort of a new tactic by left now. They did it with the whole Jussie Smollett incident. It was done with the Jasmine Barnes incident. It was done with the Covington incident and a lot of other scenarios where you give out a bunch of incomplete information or slant some information because of the lack of information, and then people follow in that narrative. And then over time, like days, 2 weeks later, more information comes back and the narrative has to be walked back in order to be considered honest. Yeah. But it doesn't matter because it's already out there and people are still firm in their beliefs because of what was initially reported, not because of information that came afterwards. Like there are still people that believe to this day that Jasmine Barnes was killed by a white guy.
Right.
And so it's a new tactic, and it's very worrisome. I know journalism is garbage, but this is something new, and it doesn't look good at all.
I'm with you, man.
It really doesn't. And what was my last thing I wanted to say? Oh yeah, the Trump impeachment thing. Yeah, I'm going to just echo what everyone else is saying. Is thanks for giving him Trump a boost. I don't know if this was some sort of 4D chess thing by Trump that he intentionally had this happen. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't know. I'm not really sure about that, but it all worked out in his favor, in my humble opinion. They're trying to, but it was kind of inevitable. They were just searching for something. It was so much. I think it was just a matter of timing, really, because they were looking for so much. They were counting on the Miller report. That didn't come through, but there's still pressure on them to get something going and to get it rocking. And here we are with this. It just kind of fit what they wanted to happen, and it happened.
Yeah, it's what was I gonna do? I could imagine what would happen. It's just a waste of taxpayer money. It really is. Having all these meetings with people like Corey Lewandowski and the acting attorney general, and just ridiculing themselves, wasting everyone's time. I could imagine if Trump wins 2020, I wonder how the whole Russia-Ukraine thing, or Russia or whatever the heck they have up their sleeve, how that's going to go. Because if he wins, it's going to obviously show that Russia probably isn't doing anything, because they would have kept a focus on the whole Russia thing to make sure that Trump doesn't steal the election or whatever they're doing. I wonder what's going to happen to that if he wins.
Man, that's a good question.
All right, well, I'm gonna head out. So have a good stream, ABL.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, peace.
Peace. Thanks, my man Jordan, for the call. Most certainly appreciate him, and thank you all for being here. I appreciate you guys as well. The number to call is 434-658-1220. And again, I thank y'all for joining the stream. Let me get to the chat here right quick. All right. Moving fast. I just had to refresh right quick, so it's probably moving fast on my end. Yeah, AOC is definitely in charge of it. Like the squad, they're in charge of the Democratic Party. They've taken it over. Nancy Pelosi just kind of, empty suit or pantsuit, whatever she has on, is empty. Has no control at all. Somebody says Warren will beat Trump by double digits. Pocahontas ain't beating nothing. She'll beat that drum in traditional native style. That's about it. But she not beating nobody in the race. Come on, really, Pocahontas? There's no enthusiasm for Elizabeth Warren. Why would anybody vote for her? And then you have a white lady. Like, the Democrats have painted themselves into a corner. Everything's about being a person of color, and you can't be a white person, and all this and that. It's just not good. What policy of hers is exciting or new or can change? And she might be a nice lady if you talk to her, but to be the president, no. Yeah, was that General Warren, Cherokee Warren? Yeah, somebody's just trolling. That's all that is. Trump is Obama's third term, whatever. Let me get to my next call. 253, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Sahara Speaks TV.
Who?
Sahara Speaks TV.
All right, what's going on?
Not much. What about you?
Everything's great. Can't complain.
Yeah. So I want to talk about the climate change activist Greta Thunberg. That's her name, right?
Yeah, Greta Thunberg. Yep.
Yeah. So I watched her speech yesterday. It was like kind of pathetic. Like at first I thought she was acting because I saw her holding paper. First I thought she was reading something, and so she could say that. Like, cause it sounded like she was a really bad actor.
Well, yeah. I mean that might have been the case.
Yeah. But so I want to talk. So I want to talk about Trump impeachment fiasco and Greta Thunberg, and some other stuff. So let's start with Greta Thunberg first. I thought. What I was thinking of, I didn't even hear of her until maybe 2 weeks ago.
You say you didn't hear what now?
I didn't hear of her until 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so you didn't know who she was. You just kind of like popped out of nowhere.
Yeah, I popped up on my phone yesterday. It was 2 weeks ago, but I didn't really watch any of her videos until yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think that. I don't think she's really anybody that is to be known, but I feel like the media are propping her up because they want her to be like the face of climate change. You know, they want her to be the new Al Gore, the younger version of Al Gore.
Yeah. Like, I was thinking that she might have been engaged to say all that stuff about climate change, because hasn't climate been changing since Earth was created?
That's what I thought.
That was a big deal.
I think the climate always changes. It's not a new thing, really.
Yeah, it's not really a new thing, so I don't understand why Democrats are making a big deal out of it now.
I can't call it. I don't really know. I think people just they want to say certain things really just to get some money, to get some attention, to gain popularity. And I feel like the person Greta Thunberg, it's her parents that are really doing this. There was a book written about Greta Thunberg before she became popular that her mother wrote, and on the front cover of the book was her mom. Now, you tell me, if your parents wrote a book about you, why would they put themselves on the cover? Wouldn't they put you on the front cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense. But maybe the person, maybe her mother's just trying to get attention for herself, and it's not so much about the kid.
Yeah, I thought that too. Yeah. So about the Trump impeachment fiasco, I was thinking, why does Pelosi keep wanting to impeach Trump? Because she's not really impeaching him; she's just making him inquiry.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's been a lot of pressure on the Democrats to do something. They want to get him. They want to try to get Trump on something, but they don't really have enough to go all the way. So they got to do this. That's all they can do. They don't really have anything left. It's kind of like desperation. They know that they're going to lose in the election if they don't do anything that's kind of out of the ordinary. It might backfire on them anyway, but that's all they really can do.
Yeah. And so I'll be here maybe a couple more minutes, and then I'll be gone. Then there's other people trying to call right about now. Also, Joe and Hunter, like, shouldn't they be investigating them about their Ukraine and stuff?
Oh, I definitely think so. They definitely should be investigated because there's obviously some issues going on there. Because it's not even about, some would say that it's a conspiracy theory. No, it's not. It's very clear that there's something going on there because Joe Biden got on TV and said it. It's not anything other than his own words that are used against him. So there definitely should be some kind of investigation going on here for sure.
Yeah, personally, I think he should get out of the race because he might have medical issues.
Yeah, definitely, and that too. The medical problems are a big issue, and also the corruption. He's not a very good candidate at all.
Yeah, because if you have medical issues, you shouldn't really be running in any kind of race.
That's right.
Like, at least wait until you have like medical, like health, like until your doctor says you're healthy enough to do anything.
Right.
Okay, so I'll be going now. So. Well, thank you for letting me on the show, and goodbye.
Thank you for the call.
Okay.
All right. Shout out to the caller. That was I don't want to say the person's name correctly. The young lady, 11 or 12 years old. Shara Speaks TV. So shout out to her, and shout out to all the young viewers, listeners to the show. I appreciate you guys. You know, you're on the right track already. So shout out to y'all. All right. Thank you to Crush Groupin who says Pocahontas, 20 votes, a Trump sweep. Oh, I want to see Pocahontas. I want to see when people run against Trump in the general. It's just not enough enthusiasm on that side. It's just not enough. And they're not good candidates. Hillary Clinton, honestly, was better than everybody that has announced they're going to run so far in 2020. Everybody. Except for Trump, of course. But everybody else, better than everybody. And still couldn't win. So how are you going to beat Trump as the incumbent when the person who was better than Trump couldn't beat him as a newcomer in politics? But hey, I digress. Let's get to the next call. 203, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Good evening, sir. It's Kevin.
All righty, Kevin, what's going on?
Hey, I have a question for you. I hear a lot about this political conference thing. What is that about?
Which one?
Like political. What does that entail? Like, is that like a thing about like where people get together and debate politics?
You mean Politicon?
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of different things going on. There's some debates, yes, but it's also about networking. It'll be some parties. It'll be some panel discussions, podcasts going on. A lot of different things happening at that particular point.
So it's more like more of like a promotion for like media then.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, it could be used as that, but it's a lot of different things happening. It's not just it's not just a thing you could just say one phrase and encapsulate it. Basically, it's a conference.
All right, yeah. So, like, my question is because I watch your little your YouTube video like a couple times a week. You sound like you're a good debater and you have a lot of facts. Have you ever debated like let's say what's his name, that guy that runs the Young Turks?
Cenk Uygur. I've not debated him. I would like to debate him, but I've not had the opportunity to do so. But I'd like to for sure.
Yeah, I think it would be easy to. I think it would be an easy debate.
Oh yeah, hey, I'm with it. I definitely want to do it if I had the opportunity to do so. I think it'd be easy as well, for sure.
Yeah. The only one I probably think that people would actually have a problem with to debate would be Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, I like Ben Shapiro. See, I wouldn't have a debate with him because what are we debating on? We probably agree on most things. But I think a lot of people have a problem debating him because he's a very smart guy, really fast talker. It's kind of hard to really get a word in edgewise and also to defeat him with facts.
Yeah, I understand that too. Yeah, and the thing about with the people at the Young Turks is that a lot of them people, like I've watched like their show on YouTube and I downloaded their app and I watch like numerous shows. but they're like they on one hand they talk about how they want to end corruption in the government, but then on the other hand, if you look into their dealings, they're no different than the politicians.
Right, that's correct.
You know, so it's like they say one thing and then they mean another. But I would love it. It would be real good is if these Democrats get off the hate wagon and actually do some work.
Right. I mean, that would be good. That would be a nice little change of pace.
Because my question is, like, how can you be in their district, right? And if you go to their district, most of their districts are in the slum, and they're saying that they love people and they're for people and they're this, that, and the third, but they spend so much time on hating Trump, and Trump really wants to work with them, but they don't want, but they're so worried and concerned about getting him out than actually the people itself. So my question is, why would people vote for people like that just don't care, and they blatantly show it every day?
I mean, that's a good question. I can't really answer that one. I mean, some people just don't even really understand what they vote for or who they're voting for. They don't really get it. They just kind of vote a certain way because it's kind of like tradition. Is a thing they normally do, but they don't really understand why they vote that way.
So basically, what you is being said here is that, like, people like figure like they have this thing like the Democrats are for the poor and disenfranchised, and the Republicans are for like the rich and famous, right?
That's part of it. That means some people may think that deeply, but a lot of people don't think that deeply. They just think, this is what I've been doing, so I'm going to continue to do it. If you really ask them why they do that, they probably would not really be able to answer you. Most of them, that is, in my opinion.
Yeah, that would sound correct, because I think the thing with all this stuff is going on is that it's ever since the president got in office, it's basically showing who they're all about. And my question is, like I said earlier, like, these people just can't see the facts. It's just like all the news outlets, you know, even sometimes Fox News, they'll talk about Trump, but it's not all negative all day long. You know what I'm saying? And then you try to show the people, hey, you're being fed about lies, because if you look at it, right, if you're watching a news station all day long, and every time you put the news station on, whatever it may be, they just keep bashing the president, and you never do your own research to see if what they're saying is accurate and true, then it feeds into the person's mind. It's like a war strategy. If you ever read a book called The 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene, then you would know the strategy, because if you keep if they keep feeding you this day in and day out, these people are going to start to believe the lie rather than the truth, and then the truth for a lie.
No doubt.
But that was my saying. I really don't have anything to say about climate change because it's not really real. So there's really no. You know, I've learned if you want, you can talk about it until the cows come home and whatever you want. But at the end of the day, if you give something power, then there's something for them to feed on. But if you don't give them anything to feed on, then eventually it'll just die out eventually anyway.
Absolutely, man, 100%.
All right, well, you have a good night, and God bless you, sir, and continue the good work.
All right, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
No problem, boss.
All right. Shout out to the caller. I most certainly appreciate him. And thank you all for being here. I appreciate you guys as well. Please like, share, subscribe. All that good stuff helps me out tremendously. I thank you all in advance. Yeah, the left, I don't know what they're going to do. It's got to be a change. People are leaving the left. And I'm not really sure the count of those that have left the left. You hear from the vocal minority. You think that's the majority, but I don't know. You see all these little protests and whatnot from people. Is that the majority of people and how they feel, or what? I don't really know. It's hard to tell. I feel like a lot of people vote for the Democratic Party because it's kind of like just tradition, and then the nut jobs out there, they're just a very small vocal few. But let me get to my next call. All right, calling on the line 347. Who am I speaking to?
Joshua.
All right, Joshua, what's happening?
What's happening with you, Angie Logan?
Everything's good.
Yeah.
Right,
and the left this week is crazier than ever before with the impeachment, the climate change, and Greta. Like, they're showing the actual true colors of who they really are. They're not for the American people. They're for themselves. They want this country to turn into a socialist paradise and hate America.
Yeah, they want that to happen. I'm not really sure why in reality, but that's what they want. They're not really going to be able to get her done, but they're going to try their hardest to make it happen. All to no avail, really, in my humble opinion. But they're going to try pretty hard.
Right, and they're going to fail. Like the impeachment, it's going to be a Bill Clinton 2.0. It's going to be even worse for the Democrats because even though the Republicans still kept control of the House and Senate in 1998 during the Clinton impeachment, and I think Trump in 2020 is going to get a bigger majority in the Senate, and probably the Republicans might take over the House of Representatives back.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a wrap for the Democrats in the House. It's a wrap because you're trying to do this whole impeachment thing. You will not be successful. People that voted you are going to be like, wait a minute. Okay, you say you're going to impeach him. Okay, that's great because I'm a Democrat. I like, but then you don't actually follow through with it. If I was a Democrat, I'd be like, all right, you know what? You didn't follow through what you said you were going to do. You took a lot of time doing this and didn't really invest a lot of interest into my community. How about I don't go out there and vote for you anymore? Now you're going to end up losing the majority you had. And then we're going to keep the majority in the Senate, and we're still going to maintain the presidency. So now we have total control.
Right, absolutely. And they're losing the working class Democrats as well. It was an independence. Have you seen a video of CNN doing like an expose in a blue stronghold in Minnesota?
No, I didn't see that. What happened on that one?
That even though they majority vote Democrat in local level, they will vote for Trump in the federal level in 2020.
Okay.
Like they're leaving they're leaving the working class out. Like they feel like they're abandoned, basically. So they're gonna vote for Trump in 2020 because they're going far left.
Right.
And another thing I want to talk about is haven't seen a new Cardi B video.
No, I've not seen Cardi B's new video. What's going on with that video?
No, Prager U.
Oh, Prager U.
That new video.
No, I've seen a lot of their stuff, but what video are you referring to?
Trump versus Hitler.
Okay, you said Trump versus Hitler.
Yeah, and one of the students said that that Trump was worse than Hitler. It was two black college students that said that Hitler was worse than Trump. They put Trump at number 5, the worst.
Okay.
And put Barack Obama at number 2 because he was black.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. It's Will Witt out there on the street, and I guess he's asking. That's crazy.
It's not surprising. It's not, because these colleges are like brainwashing these like almost adults to hate America.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's sad.
That's really absurd.
Like, and heck, they don't even know their names at some points. They're like, who's this? They don't know who Hitler and Stalin are. Like, come on.
Yeah, and it's really crazy if you were in college and you don't know that. You think that would be something you learn in high school, or that you would be currently talking
about. Even like fifth fifth graders know who Hitler and Stalin are.
Yeah, that should be kind of common knowledge, especially for big time world events like that. But I guess not for some reason.
Yeah. Last point of the day is that, as the similar point to the last point, that do you believe that the black people will vote 23% Republican in 2020?
I don't know about an exact percentage, but I think it would be higher than they did last time, which was higher than the time before that. It'll definitely be higher than it was for sure. It could reach 20. It could be 25. It could be 30. But it will definitely be higher than it was the last time. I just can't really put a number on it. I say maybe at least 20, but I don't know about anything beyond that.
Right. Anyway, I'm about to hang up now. Peace.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Never appreciate you too. Peace.
All right, thanks, my man Joshua, for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Yeah. So, we got to check out this video right quick from PragerU. Hold on, because I think I did see the thumbnail for that, but I didn't pay any mind. All right, let's check it out. Hold on.
Again, and we are asking people to rank figures throughout history from worst to best. Let's do it. So the game is, we have 5 people here, different cards with 5 different people on them. I want you to rank them from who you think is the best to who you think is the worst.
Yeah, Obama.
Can you even name these 5 people?
Who's this? Yeah, I don't know who this is.
That's Joseph Stalin.
Wow. Oh my God. Wow. Who's that? Stalin.
He was a communist leader, killed millions of people.
Got it.
Best over there.
Okay, so let's pause for a minute. If you don't even know who Stalin is, why would you even do this? Like, you don't even know what he did, who he was, or anything. But let's continue.
Worst.
Worst.
This is Jesus.
What's Obama, black president? I guess.
That's Hitler.
Which one's Hitler? This Hitler?
Uh-huh.
Who's this?
That's Stalin.
Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. Let's wait a minute.
Jesus.
What's Obama, black president? I guess.
That's Hitler.
Which one's Hitler?
He said, which one is Hitler? So you don't even know what Hitler. All right. Let's. Okay.
Hitler?
Uh-huh.
Who's this?
That's Stalin. You know who Stalin is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, fair enough. Would you like to explain any of your choices?
Barack Obama, I mean, that's black president, black power.
What was your favorite thing about Obama?
Being black.
No, but you know what? He was joking, but nah, he was not joking. He's dead serious. So how about policies, anything like that? Nah, he's black. That's enough. The black power.
And being president, like, that's a big, accomplishment.
Think Trump is worse than Hitler?
Yes.
Yeah,
Could be.
definitely.
Yeah. Why do you say that?
He's childish.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
He's trying to stop, like food stamps. People need those.
Yo, I think Trump is worse than Hitler. Why? He's childish. He's trying to stop food stamps. So people dead, we ain't worried about that, the actual killing. Nah, he's childish. He's trying to stop food stamps. Really?
Do you think that ending food stamps is as bad as killing 6 million Jews?
You gotta think about it, really? I was like, maybe, hey, millions of people dead, food stamps. I don't know, man. It's kind of a hard one to really decide.
He did that.
Yeah. He killed
That's why he's
Jews.
number
He's
2.
trying to just destroy the planet.
And built that wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not moving them. We're not gonna rearrange that. Okay, that's.
Oh my God, the first one. Can you believe that? The first one. The first people come up and talk to us think that Trump is literally worse than Hitler. 6 million Jews. Millions of people. Trump.
Jesus Christ.
No, that's Hitler.
Let's go this way.
Okay.
Yeah, would you agree? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. A
So
little
why'd you
bit
put
better.
Trump worse than Obama.
As people of color, I think just naturally,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm also indigenous too, and I know Trump does not really support indigenous people.
Did you hear about that guy who dressed up as a Native American on this campus?
I did not.
Last Thanksgiving, a guy came dressed as a Native American.
That was him. That was Will Witt.
American, and people got mad at him and kicked him off campus.
You guys don't like this is racist as
Yeah, don't know who that is.
That's Jesus.
Wow. These kids, I mean, come on. Like, I don't want to bag on the youth, the youngsters, but come on. You don't know who Hitler is, Jesus, Stalin. Like, I'm surprised to know who Barack Obama is at this particular point.
Mark Zuckerberg is just Mark Zuckerberg. Like, I don't
know
even
any
know.
controversy
Yeah,
about
other than the
Mark
fact
Zuckerberg.
that he's a lizard, but
That's true. Lizard Boy Mark.
I think that's our final answer.
Some people put that Trump is worse than Hitler. What do you think about that?
Possibly in however many years when we're looking back on Donald Trump, we might put him in the same category as Hitler. We don't know yet what Donald Trump is still to do.
Could do a lot worse. You guys have any Trump supporting friends?
No.
Yes, and she's an idiot, so.
Sounds like it.
That's your friend, huh? She's an idiot. Okay, we'll keep moving.
All right, go put it down.
Okay, so
So that's worse. That's best.
Lincoln. Yeah.
Lincoln at the
Yeah,
best.
the best.
Okay, smart.
during his administration, he like what is it called? Okay, he like removed a bunch of immigrants here, like the most in his administration.
Yeah, he did.
But the reason why it's not covered is because he's so loved by other people.
I like how you knew that Obama deported more immigrants
there you
than
go, deported.
than Trump.
Yeah.
Most people don't know that.
Not immigrants, illegal immigrants, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's because a lot of people they stick to one news source instead of just like
Illegal aliens, not illegal immigrants. Illegal aliens.
actually going out there. And
Fake news.
There you go. Oh yeah. Hey, there you go.
Okay, there you go. That's interesting. And why do you think Mark Zuckerberg is above Jesus?
As you know, Zuckerberg's just like, he's powerful. I don't want to say he's more powerful than Jesus Christ, but he's just powerful as a man he is already.
This guy is just the face. He doesn't do She's conniving. She knows the system.
So you think Reagan is worse than Hitler?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
I feel like he's more mentally manipulative, and that's more dangerous.
What?
Hitler's a real pimp. He upfront with his stuff.
And you like Mark Zuckerberg better than Hillary?
Yeah. She doesn't like black people.
That's true. Ask the people in Haiti. So basically we have 5 people here, and we want you to rank them from who you think is the worst person to the best person.
Gotcha.
Do your thing.
I think that's how I would do it.
Okay. We had people who put Trump as worse than Hitler and Stalin.
Oh my God.
What do you think about that?
Well, first off, Trump didn't take away people's guns. So the reason why a bunch of went down in Germany, obviously, is because he started taking away rights from people. I'm going to take away like guns, and this is going to be the first gun-free government, and it's going to be amazing. And then, of course, you have World War II and then the Holocaust and stuff. And if they're scared that, new presidents, for instance, if they're intimidated by Trump and all that stuff, then keep your guns. Learn how to use them. Embrace that right so that if anything happens, you can defend yourself.
No, Trump is Hitler, and we need to give our guns
He's kind of on the right track for sure. Shout out to him.
to Hitler. That's basically their level of logic right now. All right, guys, so we just finished up here at California State University, Northridge, and we have people who think Trump is worse than Hitler and Stalin, Ronald Reagan is worse than Hitler. This is what the universities are doing to students. Share this video with your friends. Like this video.
You know what? The thing about it, I can't even really blame the university 100%, because I feel like these kids thought that before they came to school. Like blame their parents, friends, family, and school before that. And then when they go to college, it just reinforces what they already have learned before. So I think that's really what's going on, because the one youngin that came up there, he was not like the rest of them, but they're going to the same school. So I think it's more about just your prior environment and most likely your home where you're raised up. That's pretty much what that is. But that's crazy. I mean, you don't even know who Jesus. I mean, the guy was like, yo, who is that? That's Hitler. Oh, I didn't know. That was just really wild. So I mean, that was crazy. I might upload that as a different video for sure. Yeah, that was crazy. All I gotta say is, hey, please educate your kids. Don't let them just be out there in the wild, not knowing what's really going on. That's all I got. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Some kids I speak to that's right around that age, they're really smart, they're really intelligent, but a lot of other ones just don't know anything. So it's hard. It's hard to really determine what the future is going to hold. Yo, the food stamps, cigar box, the food stamps. I was like, what? So food stamps killing people, like that's on the same wave, really? So an entitlement, me giving you a thing that you don't have to have, a free thing, or reducing it to a certain level is as bad as killing millions of people, starving people, war. Like that's on the same level. Okay. Crazy. Exactly. NKM. Most of the lefties calling Trump Hitler don't even know who Hitler was. 100%. They have no idea who Stalin. If they would have put Mao Zedong, they would have been totally lost. Totally lost. Who is that? Jackie Chan? That's what it would have said. No racism. I'm being real. 100% real. They didn't even know who Jesus was. Unreal. 718 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Anthony. Hi. It's Hallie in Brooklyn. I hope you can hear me okay because I've been calling from my cell phone. I'm at work, so I can't talk too long. I wanted to ask your opinion, like how you would have answered this. My physical therapist was kind of more liberal. She asked me what I thought of Greta Thunberg, and I didn't want to flat out say she was the strangest thing on earth, but she, she did bring up an argument that people have, countered to say that, that we, what about China and India, that's, and so Greta, she answered apparently, and this is just what the physical therapist said, that, she's from Sweden, when Sweden did not bother to question that America was a larger country and obviously more, had more manufacturing and economic. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, no one in Sweden ever said, well, look at America and we're polluting, or we're a big country, a large industrial, and it didn't stop Sweden from taking, measures about whatever environmentalism. But I thought later, I said to her, but we did take measures. I mean, I argued. I didn't get in a whole argument with my physical therapist, but sometimes I get like a delayed reaction. I think about it later, and I should have said, or like should have emphasized, we did take measures. We do have laws. We did enact environmental laws, whereas these countries seem to have blithe disregard. So I don't know if that was a false comparison. Also Sweden's a very small country anyway. They can pretty much. It's probably easier to get a population on board. It used to be a more homogeneous population. So I don't know if they would have more problems now as far as pollution. I mean, do you think that was like the argument she said? Am I correct? Do you think that was kind of irrational to say? No one ever argued. Sweden, no one in Sweden ever argued about America. I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? That they seem to be making a false comparison.
Yeah, Sweden is a small country. Sweden is the equivalent of some of our cities, like as far as the total population. So it's not a fair comparison to make. Sweden, like you said, largely homogenous, and when they break away from the homogeneity, that's when they start to have problems. When they accept all these so-called migrants and refugees, that's when they start to have problems that pop up. So imagine that across a larger place with more money and more different types of people from all over the world. You're not going to have the same situation as a Sweden.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is how I start wanting to kick the wall, because again, the lack of logic, it hits you later. I mean, wait a minute, it didn't make sense what you said. I just want to say one thing. I know probably getting close to the end of the show. Just a slight change of subject. I called you over 2 weeks ago, and I remember told you the dilemma I was in that, in Brooklyn, the Jewish voters in my community were being asked to vote, switch parties to the Democrat, in order to gain, retain influence, but, try to vote in moderates. And I know that, and so I read some letters people in my community wrote. I think you would have appreciated. They said the same thing as you, that number one, what's the point? Because they're pushing out everyone that's even moderate now, and I mean we can see it now. What's happening with this stupid impeachment thing. But there was one person wrote, which I thought was a little funny to appreciate. What if Moses had just decided to join the Pharaoh party? He said all these people need to do is just all we need to do is work with the Egyptians, and maybe we can win some over to our side, or no, you just get the hell out. So I think that watching this, I kept thinking of you, and I've been meaning to share it. I'm just thought you'd appreciate, but but it kind of ties in with this the lunacy that that's going on right now. I think that is probably enough of the indicator to just to get out. Anyway, it's nice. As usual, I enjoy your show, and I've got to get back to work now. I think they're calling me. Okay. Okay. So be well. Okay. Bye bye.
All right. Now, thank
bye,
you,
everyone.
All right. Thank you to the caller, Holly from Brooklyn. Most certainly appreciate her. And thank you all for being here. Most certainly appreciate you as well. Yeah, that video was crazy. Like my man in the chat said, I should put that up as a separate video. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, shout out to Will Witt. I've seen him before. I saw him at the Blexit rally in Richmond earlier this year. I'll probably see him again sometime soon coming up in my tour I got coming up here. But yeah, that was wild. Shout out to all you guys that do the on the street interviews. You guys, hey, you do a big time service. The whistleblower the whistleblower apparently heard about the phone call from somebody else. Like it wasn't even the first-hand witness. It wasn't they didn't see it. They heard about it from a third party. So the whistleblower just telling about a rumor they heard. One of these things where you hear a story from somebody else and then it gets changed to something else and then something else and then something else. That's what's going on here. How can you be called a whistleblower when you didn't see a thing happen yourself, when you're just talking about a rumor that's going on? Anybody could say a rumor. That doesn't really count as anything. And shout out, one more thing I got to say before I go. Shout out to Sheila Jackson Lee talking about, she said an AR-15 is super heavy. It weighs as much as 10 boxes and it has 50 cal bullets. Now, what AR-15 that can chamber 50 rounds, like 50 round bullets? I don't know anything that can hold that. And how much does a box weigh? Like, how is that a unit of measurement? I've heard about different little things, a pound, an ounce, a gram, a kilogram, a box. How much does that weigh? Sheila Jackson Lee? I think that was her. Just totally silly. Like, I just don't really understand these people in Congress saying just wild and crazy things. And the crazier part is that how they keep getting reelected over and over again, knowing that they are just totally silly like that. Hey, but it is what it is. People just vote for random things, I suppose. All right. A box. Yeah. Like, how much does a box weigh? I don't even really know. All right. Hey, yeah, the 3 hours, they zoomed right on by Zodachi's cane sword, but I got to go ahead and wrap it on up, put a bow on top. Thank y'all for joining. If you're just now coming into the stream, please like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And when you subscribed, click the bell right beside it. When you click that bell, you should get notified whenever I go live or post a new video. Yeah, let me get that 50 cal mod on the AR-15. I need that ASAP. And I'm going to need a new a shoulder and all that, because all this right here is going to be pretty much gone for a 50 cal hitting it like that. But I'll move on. Thank you all for being here. Definitely appreciate you. I will be back live on Saturday of this week. I'll be doing a lot of different things coming up next week because I'll be traveling. I'll be doing live streams, hopefully some interviews. I may do a panel discussion. I'm going to try to record everything I can and stream it for you guys. And I think that is all I got. Thank y'all for being here again. And shout out to the moderators is what I wanted to say. I almost forgot. Shout out to the moderators. We got Hip Hop Thinker, I See You Boss, Eliza Jean, Michelle, A.T. Payne, Ansel, Bill from the Hills. All you guys are great. Shreeps, Protocol. Thank y'all for what you do all the time. Definitely appreciate you. And that is all from me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.